Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Stud and Dud presented by the Dallas School of Music. Thank you all for listening. I'm Josh Smith, and with me each week, although it's been 2 or 3, Dr. Bob Lawrence. What's up, Doc? It's kind of been a rough 2 weeks-ish for you, huh?
Dude, sick. Flu bug. Did you know that?
Way. I didn't know that.
We'll have to get into that in a minute, but yeah.
Everybody in the family got sick. Gardner got sick. Tam got sick.
So,
all the boys, everybody got sick.
So besides the holidays, that was one of the reasons why we're off. This poor man over here trying to get feeling. And you can even tell today, I'm sure, when you'll tell in the audio.
I'm not 100%, but feeling a lot better.
Because of why? Yes, right?
Because this guy coming in
perfect
the house.
time, just in time, because all the off-season madness that's been going on.
Yeah, there's been a little bit. Baseball have anything going on?
I mean, you kidding me? Hey,
Just
I know you're loving it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I love it.
Texas Rangers catcher Jose Trevino. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good. How's everybody doing?
Great, man.
Great,
So glad
man.
to have you on here. I know look at that smile on his face. I am too.
I'm excited.
So I'll be sending those pictures out to everyone like, hey, look, I swear we're legit. We had someone that's on here.
Yeah.
He's like a son, man.
I bet, and we'll get into that as well. I mean, with your son, I was going to say almost your son. That's what it seemed like, but your brother almost is what I wanted to say. Y'all, that's awesome. First, today, on tap. What's up, Doc? You got anything for us?
No.
I've got a cool little couple things just to go through because of craziness that's been going on. I'll skim through those. Quick recap and just do football mostly. That's the only thing that's really been going on our end because we got to dive deep into the MLB talk. I mean, I know, and I've got to ask him. I cannot wait to get into getting to know Jose. I got to ask Jose a few questions. And then a great story for both of you. Yeah. Oh, by the way, because neither one of you know, I covered this guy. Back in college.
Really?
At Oral Roberts. We'll get into that. Yes, for one game I did. Yeah, right. And of course, in the coveted Stud Dud segment, we'll send Jose into the chamber. It's been a little while. It's been like 2 months.
Oh, he's got to go to the chamber.
He's going to the chamber of questions. So I can't wait to get to that. But first, Doc, Christmas. Yeah. Great. Christmas great, but the trip and afterward.
Christmas was great.
Trip okay?
Oh, that's right. You went
all the way up to Canada,
north.
man.
That's
we
right.
went to Duluth, Minnesota. That's where I got sick.
Yeah. Wow.
Jose.
Brought back a slew of flu.
Jose, it's too cold, man.
It wasn't that Texas air, huh?
Too cold. Yeah, listen, man. Wherever you play baseball, don't play any teams north. No,
that's why they're not playing outside.
Don't go there, man. It's awful. So yeah, we went up there. It was sick. Look, you know you're north. We left the wedding reception. We're driving down a neighborhood street, and Tamlin says to me, as we're driving out of the parking lot, heading down the street, she goes, "Is that a moose?"
There you go.
Walking right toward us. A moose.
A moose. There you go.
I said, we got to get out of here.
There you go.
Too cold.
This is just too
cold now.
You start seeing moose walk around like a dog.
Way too cold now.
And then on your way back, one after the other, y'all started falling like flies. You first.
I got sick first.
During the car ride.
Real quick, what you told me before the show. So how did that kind of happen? You were driving.
Driving, not feeling well. I told Tam she needed to drive. We pulled over. She started driving. About 20 minutes later, I said to the boys, we got any bags in the back?
Uh-oh.
And they said, yeah. I said, get it ready. I'm not saying I'm going to, but just in case. About 10 minutes later, I said, Gardner, bag. Put up a bag, man, and I just started.
No.
Tam pulls over. I'm out in the middle of nowhere in Minnesota.
What a story. This is so Griswoldian, like Christmas vacation type stuff. That's a great story.
True.
And then one after the other is getting sick.
And then Tam got sick. This virus went through the whole family.
Oh, man, that's the worst.
And but now I think we're all on the back end. I mean, I'm not 100%. Obviously, Gardner's feeling a lot better. He's playing ball today.
He's in Arizona.
Yeah, so...
Crazy. I had a great trip to Colorado. Real quick that's what we were talking about. So last year, my fiance's from Littleton, suburb of Denver. You see the Broncos here. My brother was born in Colorado. So we met in Arkansas, which is crazy, but I'm from Arkansas too, but I'm almost from Colorado. She is. So anyway, we try to go back there once a year to see her family. Broncos, which is cool. They do half price tickets for it's like 2,000 tickets for every home game, which is cool if you can snag them. Which luckily the last 2 years we hadn't been good, so it kind of helps.
Yeah,
snag some.
Easy to snag.
Easy. That's very easy.
I say that, but then also he says that it's the longest ongoing since 1970. The Broncos have have the longest active in all pro sports.
Here we go.
I have to. You want to make fun of how it's hard to get a ticket?
Here we go.
It doesn't matter. They still sell out in like 15, 20 minutes.
There's only one.
But point being, since 1970, the Broncos have sold out every year since 1970. It's the longest active streak.
That place is too small, man. You seen Jerry's World? That place is hard to sell out.
Well, that's also when's the last time they won a Super Bowl? Oh, we've won 3 since then.
You know, there's only one ticket easier to get than a Bronco ticket.
A Razorback ticket.
Yes.
All right, which we'll get into as well. See, at least I can play to my puns. I mean, come on now. All right, so Jose, get back to the obviously point being, we won. It looks like we have a quarterback too in Drew Lock. Let's at least say it was good. It was a great trip anyway. Going to get out in the snow. I have 12 dogs, by the way. We brought 8 of them.
Look at Jose.
I love
12
it.
dogs?
12 dogs.
We brought 8 with us.
Is that even like legal?
Yes. If you 8's the limit.
If you lie.
But then if you have that too. But if you have a permit, it's not that hard to get.
Dude, 12 dogs.
So point being, like I just saw yesterday on the news, the Fort Worth, please someone adopt. The Fort Worth adoption shelter was at max.
You have enough.
I know. That's what we were already saying. But anyway, they have 200 plus. You get my point. There are dogs everywhere. So if someone has 12 and you could come see our house, I could put my 12 dogs. Someone has 1 dog, I'll put my house up against their house, and they have 1 dog, and I bet my house is cleaner, is my point. Like it is. People come over everyone comes over. You'd come over and be like, because it ranges from little chihuahuas this size up to 160, 50-pound Great Dane that stands this tall. Pit bull, shepherd, pit, lab. Those are all like off the street. And they're off the street. The street.
Crazy.
So check this out. He has 12 dogs, but he takes 8 with him.
Here we go.
So
now, I've got to get an RV. That's the biggest part of guy.
Dude. So he goes like, you 4.
They're the biggest.
We're not taking you.
They're the biggest.
So you got to tell your dogs that?
Here we go.
That's like me saying that's like
to your kids.
Yeah, like me saying the Franzen. Man, we're not taking you, dude.
Yeah, sorry.
You're gonna have to stay back. But look, we've got a little bed made up for you and some food.
Well, so you went up to Denver, right?
Yes.
Why wouldn't you take the bigger dogs just in case you get caught, like snow dogs or something?
Yeah, like a sled.
You see that? It's called Jeep Thanos. It's Thanos right there. That thing can go anywhere. I won't get stuck anywhere.
That's what they said about the Titanic.
Well, it's true, but that was like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
They weren't too smart back then. They were kind of smart. Even though Einstein was Benjamin Franklin, way smarter than me. Anyway, all right. Anyway, so back to the trips. Mine was great. Yours not so much. How about your holiday season?
That was good.
What did you do? What do you do? Where's your family? Are they still down in Corpus?
Yeah, they're still down in Corpus. My girlfriend and my family are down in Corpus. We didn't go visit them since we had been visiting them like the whole time, but a trip came up where my girlfriend's sister's company had an extra spot on a cruise.
Oh, wow.
So I was like,
yeah.
I've never been.
Yeah, I've never been on a cruise. I bet that's
I'm
nice.
going. So I went on the cruise, came back. We had Christmas, New Year's. New Year's we had to go down south because we were almost following y'all up north because we had a wedding.
Oh, okay.
I think the 2nd, and we went up to Philly. So went down south for New Year's, flew out to Philly, came back, and
all over the place.
Just been.
Where was the cruise at?
Mexico.
How'd you like it? How was the cruise, man? I've never been on a cruise.
Especially during December when it's cold here, you can go there and it's like 75.
Yeah. So I guess there's like an app for your phone that you can get if you want to text people or whatever, keep in contact with the world. I didn't have it. I was like,
I'm
good.
I'm enjoying this
good
trip.
for you.
It's like if
man.
somebody wants to like contact, they'll just contact you and just
good for you.
It kind of kicked me in the butt because then a lot of like the trade rumors started coming up, and I was like, oh man, who are we getting? Like, just see what's going on. So it kind of kicked me in the butt in the end, but in the long run, I was like, man, I kind of like this. Like, and that was like my trial run. Like, I was gonna be like, if this cruise is cool, maybe next year I'll go on another one. So we'll see what happens.
All right, there we go.
We'll see what happens.
It was nice it was nice being unplugged, wasn't it?
It was very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
I like doing that. I like to do that a little bit without people knowing, just kind of like, oh.
Speaking of unplugged, that's a perfect segue. So how's it going with the whole no phone situation?
I love having no phone. My family made me get a phone. I threw my phone away.
Okay.
About a month ago.
Yeah.
I got out of the car, I walked by a trash can, I threw it away, man. I just got rid of it. I said, I'm tired of phones. Tamlin was like...
What's funny for a minute was I was like, why am I not getting a hold of Doc? And then I was like, oh yeah, that's why probably.
Yeah.
I kind of like that a little bit. I wish I could do that.
I hate it. I hate phones.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah. So
my girlfriend, my girlfriend's brother-in-law, he had a flip phone forever.
Yeah.
And he was just like, hello, yeah, send a text, that's it.
We get so
crazy.
locked into those things, right, man?
Oh yeah.
So I was just in one of those moods where I was not happy.
Yeah.
I threw it out. Tam got really mad at me, and she said, you don't have to have a phone to communicate with anybody else, but your family, Gardner needs to get in touch with you. I need to get in touch with you. Your boys, She goes, what does it say to us? I went, okay. So I have a phone, but what's really funny is I have a phone and they still can't get a hold of me because I never know where my phone is. I'm right, I know, you know, but at least they're happy because they know I have a phone, even though they now
it's never around you, really.
Yeah, they go like, you never pick it up. I go, okay, well.
All right, what's up, Doc? You don't really have much today, but I do want to go just the craziness that has been going on.
Yeah.
The earthquake situation, have y'all seen that in Puerto Rico? It's crazy. Of course, they're kind of the weird little epicenter where it's just, they've had, but 1,300, 1,300 since the beginning of this year, which is crazy to think, 1,300 earthquakes since the beginning of this year. I mean, obviously, a lot of them are small.
Yeah.
24 so 24 or more have been 4.5 or greater, that's crazy.
Yeah.
24 that much, and the biggest at 6.4. Just crazy. A couple of people passed away in sports news. NBA commish, Daniel Stern passed away. And then just recently, speaking of old school wrestlers, did you ever Rocky Johnson? Did you remember him? Kind of. I didn't know. But The Rock's dad, he passed away.
That's crazy.
But they both lived in the upper 70s.
And what's his name? The pitcher.
Lars. What is his name?
The Dodger. That threw the only perfect game in the World Series.
Yankee dude.
Yankee. Not
Don Larson.
Don Larson.
Yeah.
Yes.
New Orleans. Announced something just goofy. Did you see the issue? I haven't looked into it since they issued the police warrant for slapping the police.
What is this now?
You haven't seen Odell Beckham Jr., your Browns. This was a Super Bowl pick, by the way.
You haven't seen this?
No, what happened?
So after the championship game, which about to get into, which we predicted.
I did not see this.
So in the locker room should have watched it. But after the game, which you couldn't see this was kind of like just kind of happened. It was really
honestly, it was because of a phone.
Yes, and it was because someone was filming
recording.
Someone was filming him being goofy, just acting out. Was behind I don't even know. I'm still trying to look into why that security guard was in there.
Because of the cigar thing.
That's right, the cigar thing. So anyway, he's being goofy behind, just acting out, and then slaps him on his butt. Now it's just a security guard, so you're thinking, okay, it's not a police. I mean, he surely wouldn't have done that to a badged police officer, guaranteed.
I don't know, man.
Maybe so.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's to me though, because it's a little different when it's an actual badged police officer. We'll see. I mean, regardless, now he's getting punished for it because now they issued a warrant for him for slapping the butt.
Battery.
Yeah, for battery. Yeah. After the fact.
In Louisiana.
After the fact.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So the reason why was because there was kids smoking cigars,
and they were looking for him, and they were
like, "Hey, like, stop, put out the cigars, like, don't do that, like, you can get fined, whatever." So there's a video recording of them recording the cops telling the kids, "Hey, put out the cigars," and OBJ's back there dancing, and just. Whoop.
And then how much LSU's got to hate this too. Like, thank you for being in there.
There's another thing going on too.
Like
he was giving out money.
I did hear that.
I saw that too. Yeah,
I did hear about that.
Nuts,
like double bad news for that's like thanks OBJ. Like so. Anyway, crazy. Just had to bring that up. Going back into which we did predict. If you want to go back and listen to. That was the last episode that we did the college football. Went over our bowls and we did the college football playoff predictions. We had it half right, but we did have the champion. We had LSU all the way.
Both of y'all did?
Yes. We had OSU versus LSU, and we had LSU taking home the crown. And LSU, I think OSU, they had that game. They were up.
Don't get too excited. We picked it after we knew what the Final Four was. It wasn't like we picked them. It wasn't like we picked them in August.
Oh, I got you.
No. We did come up with ours in August, and I think
it's not like when I picked the Washington Nationals last spring break.
Yeah.
To win the World
Series. Yes.
I did.
Wow. So we do our predictions as soon as the year starts. Yeah. We just did our NBA Final Four. We did our Final Four in NBA not too long ago. Well, to start the year, literally, that was one of our first episodes. You can go back because Steve Kent, pitcher for the Texas Rangers, he was here on the show. He picked. I forgot who he picked.
He was going with the Phillies.
He thought the Phillies. Phillies are twins, I think. But I forgot anyway. But I think it was the Phillies. I went with the Oakland A's. I was kind of going. I almost went with the Stros.
Oh, he was going with Phillies or Milwaukee.
And it was an M team. It wasn't Minnesota Twins. It was Milwaukee.
That dude
Brewers.
likes Milwaukee because they send him gear.
Is that what it is?
He has a friend over there.
Okay, now we know why.
Now we know why he sent him a shout out.
Yeah, that's why.
So I picked the Oakland A's. I almost went with everyone's going with the Astros. Who doesn't? Notice they're cheaters. But I almost went with them because, hey, why not? But I went with the A's because I like we were even talking like the first episode or second episode when we first started talking baseball. We were both talking about the man blah, blah, blah. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go with the A's. He went kind of on a limb, but he loved their rotation, which proved to be the pudding in the cake. Good. Was where it was going to be at, and sure enough, like defense wins championships in football, pitching's going to win you a lot of championships in baseball. And he picked the the Nationals back on essentially opening day because opening day was that Thursday. We had the show that Friday, so essentially opening day pick.
Wow.
I try to get
That's
ESPN and everyone to hear
That's
it.
pretty good.
Yes, he was
pretty
one
good.
of the few.
Was it just because strictly off of rotation?
Yep,
Like you were that rotation's good?
And I also thought with Bryce Harper being gone, I thought there was going to be a much more balanced
chemistry
and
That's
offense.
a good call.
And he said
Wow.
that all the players that they brought.
Not that Bryce Harper isn't a great player, but sometimes sometimes a great player can get in the way.
Sometimes,
yes, seen that a lot.
Yeah.
So regardless, now we did the final. We had two teams, and we did predict two teams, Oklahoma and Clemson, in the Final Four. We had those two teams, and I went with Alabama and Georgia in it, and he went with Notre Dame and.
Of course, I had to go with that.
I think you did Alabama too.
I did Alabama.
So but regardless, so we redid it when it started, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. But we both said, LSU's on a roll. Joe Burrow, are you kidding me? What a season he's had.
That guy.
Oh my gosh, just on fire. So even in the championship game, I was like, and that's what I was telling everyone. It's like the reason Clemson's even still in this game right now is because Joe Burrow isn't on. As soon as Joe Burrow clicks, this game is over. Yeah. And it was as soon as he clicked.
Yeah.
But we had LSU winning it all. Clemson, back to that game real quick. OSU was up 16-0. They had they were about to get the ball back. They called a terrible. What do they call where they eject the guy and
the targeting?
Yeah, targeting. They call targeting
the
on
Ohio State guy.
on one of Ohio State's best defensive linemen for hitting Pretty Boy, and he was out for the rest of the game. That turned that game around, and I was like, or we would have pretty much had OSU versus LSU. I was like, it was OSU completely until that play, and then Clemson clicked and scored on that drive, scored a touchdown. So went from 16-0 OSU with the ball, went 16-7. You get my point. So regardless, yes, we picked LSU, but I mean, a lot of people I'm sure did. But I will say this: that was the first number 1 seed since they started the playoff system, which has been 6 years now. The number 1 seeds won. Wow. Number 4 seeds won twice. Number 2 seeds won the other times.
Wow.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. So there's that little tidbit.
I had Clemson.
Did you have him?
I just like Dabo. I like what Dabo.
He's a great
preaches,
coach.
But I like Coach O too. I like the way they both prepare their
Coach,
teams.
Yeah, definitely. Are you kidding me?
I think it was nice. It was good to see though.
Yes, definitely. Oh, I know. What's funny? I was just looking up one of the last tweets I saw. I was because I always do a little research for I saw that you tweeted a bit too long.
Yeah, way too long.
I
thought so.
Completely.
I think
laughed.
I was
like, I agreed with you because all those commercials. That's what I hate about football.
The commercials, right? Yeah.
It was like that's what I was telling Avery. She had passed out. Well, obviously my wife passed out. But it was like literally I didn't go to bed till about midnight. Yeah, it was about midnight when I went to bed.
I went to sleep whenever. Let me see. When right before they scored the last time, I was like,
it's over. And then it's so long.
Yeah.
And then you didn't get a chance. You said because you were sick.
Yeah.
You didn't get to watch it at all, huh?
Yeah. My buddy texted me.
A little bit.
My buddy texted me. He's like, "You think this game's too long?" I'm like, "Dude, yeah." Like,
yeah.
Look at the time, dude.
You're lucky it's not NFL to be on for another hour.
Yeah. So
I did think that. I thought, is this the longest football game ever?
Yeah. They get that money.
Heck?
I mean, Notre Dame won. It was a good win for them.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, so just wanted to bring that up.
They shouldn't even been playing.
I know, they should have been playing like in the Cotton Bowl
that
or something.
That was ridiculous.
Go back to our last
Camping
episode.
World Bowl?
Yeah.
Camping World Bowl?
Camping World's
Iowa
like,
State?
yeah.
Are you kidding me?
There's all types of bowls now.
Hey, if you have like $5 million, it could be the Dallas School of Music Bowl.
If I was
Dallas School of Music Bowl.
If I was the athletic director of Notre Dame, I would have said, take your camper.
Right.
And do whatever you want. But we ain't playing in the Camping World Bowl.
Real quick, let's get to your Cowboys. Let's jump up a level to the NFL. I want to ask you, too, we'll get into a little bit of one of my questions being so far down south, who are your teams? We'll kind of probably be able to tell here. But anyway, I'll get to that in a minute. Cowboys, though. Are you obviously finally is what I wrote. Even after coaches were fired, it's like, are we going to fire? Are you going to wait?
I think
you're going to wait 10 more years?
Very close to keeping.
He was. I think even as an offensive coordinator.
I tweeted, I was like, I think he's getting moved to the front office.
Right, yeah, and so a lot of people thought.
Why wouldn't he get moved to the front office? He's been there so long.
I mean.
Couldn't cut the tie, and finally it was like.
Literally. It's like he put an umbilical cord and they were attached for life.
Right.
McCarthy, happy with the hire?
I think it's as good as you're going to do.
Really, I mean, honestly, for the most part,
unless
you're going to go die, which Cowboys aren't going to do. They have done a couple times with Jimmy Johnson. My Arkansas boy played for. But you get my point. Kind of dive down into the realms and see what. No,
I'm just saying. I heard a little commentary by Stephen A. About how it was an awful hire because Mike McCarthy is like, the game has passed him. I said, oh, shut up.
And that was his big thing, too, where he wanted people to not know that. I mean, even though he was doing just fine.
Football.
Yeah.
Football
he took
really,
what was his big thing? He took the last year off
if
to
Vince Lombardi came back to life, I'd hire him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go, Vince, the game's passed you by, man.
So do you like the hire?
I like the hire.
You do?
I think it's good. I think that year off's going to help him, too.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking.
I mean,
refresh his mind.
Yeah, kind of take a year off.
A little bit more determination
and
now.
And he's talking about the analytics and stuff, actually getting into it. So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Speaking of Garrett, let's see. I don't know if it's done deal yet, but speaking of going to the Giants, Joe Judge, pass wide receiver head coach, kind of a surprise. That was one of the surprises. He's the New York Giants head. Well, once again, they're the ones that are always kind of trying to find that new. Yeah. It hadn't worked out the last couple of times. So we'll after Tomlin or Colin. What was his name? Coughlin took him to the Super Bowls. But point being, we'll see if Garrett becomes their offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he'll coach.
I hope he does.
Yeah, he'll coach.
I mean, I love Garrett, but like if he's the offensive coordinator,
yeah, right. Hell yeah,
blitz everybody on first down. Why not?
Right. Matt Rule, that's the one. A lot of people are thinking maybe he might go to the Cowboys, being so close here at Baylor. He went to the Carolina Panthers. You glad y'all didn't get? Or I say y'all because I still don't know if you're Houston based or
no. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan.
So you would rather have him over Matt Rule?
I'd rather have Urban Meyer over everybody.
Yeah,
Mr. Cheater.
Not a cheater. Good coach, man.
Oh,
You think Zeke comes back overweight or like?
I'm just saying.
I think he has him going like, hey, you're gonna be the best.
He's a good coach, but there's a reason. I don't know if if his illnesses or his physical. Well, I mean, I don't know if he has the physical means to put up with the NFL. If he has to take breaks from Florida and Ohio State, where he's winning championships, is my point.
True.
Sorry, I'm from the SEC, so we make fun of him. Kind of like
go.
you had to run out of Florida to go to.
But you know what though? I think he would actually do better in the pros.
You never know because he's not going to.
College coaching with that recruiting and
everything.
Oh my gosh, there's so much that has.
But you get to pick your players. Where in the NFL you don't really get that. That's why Saban's like, I'm not going to do this. They turn on you so fast, I'm out of here. The one that stood out, obviously, and he's still coaching. Even Harbaugh. Look at Harbaugh. Look at his record, too. I forgot. I'm like, how is he still not in the NFL? It's like 70-30, essentially, because he went to 2 or 3 straight NFC championship games back in college. Pete Carroll's my point. He's the only one, because I think he has that, almost like Saban, but even more so than Saban.
Yeah.
I am the man. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I mean, kind of that Legion of Boom defense.
I think that's like
but he's cool with his players too. He kind of lets go on some of them. He doesn't have that. He knows he respects them.
That's like an environment thing.
Exactly. Where Saban's always gonna be in this. Carroll coming, like, man, come on, bro. Like, he'll talk to him and kind of correlate, relate with him.
I can see that.
Where Saban, that's just harder to do on the NFL level anymore. That's why I don't think Urban Meyer I don't think Matt Rule is going to be a good pro coach because of that. He can turn teams around, but how are you going to manage 27, 30, 35-year-olds?
Well, they're pros.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be. They want to get paid. You got to play by the rules.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like you got to do what's right.
Well, I'm just saying I don't think Matt Rule is going to be that good of a coach. That was what I was getting back to. I just don't think he's going to be that good of a head coach in the pros. You think so? You think he's going to be good with Carolina?
I actually think he's going to be better in the pros.
I think he's going to be better in the pros than he is in college. Yeah.
Well,
for
he's
some reason
ridiculously good in turning teams around. His record's only like 43-40, but it's because his first year at both of those schools, he's only won like 3 games, like Baylor and.
Baylor was in trouble too when he picked him.
Just like I think Jimmy Johnson was a better pro coach than Jimmy Johnson needed to be a pro coach, not a college coach.
We'll see. I just I said,
same type of deal.
Yeah, time will only tell. The success rate's not that great, though. Is my point. It's how far they stick. I mean, there's only one that's still Pete Carroll. He's the only college coach that's still sticking around and doing good. Is my point. We'll see though. I don't care. What's my point? The one that's here's his Super Bowl pick though. The Browns that no one wants to go coach for anymore. My God,
I was feeling good after my Washington.
And they were Kitchens was a good pick. Everyone thought Kitchens was going to be that next good head coach, but he really.
Hey, Browns got talent, man. They just need coaching,
and they need
a better quarterback.
Well, he likes Baker Mayfield, and I think Baker's
like his commercials.
Here's the thing. They need a Popovich. They need because people I don't know, or I guess a Belichick, someone that can. They've got Baker Mayfield is on it. People are like, would you stop being all the commercials? And especially his antics. He's not. Point being, he's got a little big head, a little big brain. Then you got the guy that likes to slap officers' butts, OBJ down there. Anyway, you got a lot of big heads down there that you're going to have to maintain.
Let me ask you something. Would you take Kyler over Baker or Baker over Kyler?
I don't like really either one of them that much.
Which one you had to pick? You have to pick right now. That's it.
I'll go Baker because he's bigger.
No.
We don't like Kyler. We even said last year on the show we don't like Kyler Murray because he's so little. Brain. I know exactly. That's why. As I drop my phone.
But Kyler did a lot better than we anticipated. He would.
But see, a lot.
It's in that head. His dad, his uncle, they were all professional athletes.
Yeah.
So he was getting instilled with that mindset, like, hey.
Yep.
This is how you're going to do it as a pro.
Yeah, right.
So he has that. Yeah. He has that.
Here's one that proved me kind of wrong, too, that I didn't think was going to – and I should have just seen it because of pure size, and I think it's one of the reasons why. Cam Newton. So I think he's going to be a lot like Cam Newton where he's going to do – what, you don't like Cam Newton? You do?
I do. I mean, I had him.
He's had great career though. He's MVP of the league. I mean,
great career.
You're kidding me? Only one loss to my brother.
Two
losses.
I don't like his fashion.
No, well, no, it's kind of out there. I'm just saying. Coming out of Auburn, I didn't think he was gonna be that good. I was like, he can't throw that well.
What? Coming out of college, you didn't think he was gonna be that good?
I could tell you a lot of quarterbacks, and they were all Tim Tebow, Sanchez. I can go through. Even though he kind of, I guess, had.
Did Sanchez play for the Broncos?
No, for like a half a season or something like that. But anyway,
those are 2 Broncos quarterbacks, by the way.
Ugh, terrible coming out of college. I can tell you, Liner.
Hey, hold on. You cannot talk about Tim Tebow like that.
Coming out of college, nothing he was going to be
No. You're not allowed to talk about Tim Tebow like that. He won you a playoff game.
That's so funny. Like people,
he supposedly sure did.
Yeah, that's cool. But coming out of college,
I think that's the last playoff game you guys won.
Yeah, we won a Super Bowl since then. Doc, are you kidding me?
He got hurt, or who?
We've had Peyton Manning since then.
Didn't somebody get hurt? Your quarterback got hurt, then he had to jump in, right?
Yeah, Kyle Orton was our quarterback.
There you go.
I'm just my statement. And I, like anyone, I didn't say he wasn't good.
I
like the guys.
Man.
I'm glad you brought that up because you know what? The Broncos did Tebow wrong.
Trust me.
And now I really don't like the Broncos. After you do him like that was just wrong.
Well, like, what career did he have after he left us?
He's playing baseball.
Yeah.
Football career? What football career did he have? That's my point.
Well, he wanted to play baseball.
Well, he went to different teams. Let's not act like he went to like 5 different teams. So anyway, my point being, he's not that great of a quarterback in the pros. He was good, an astounding college quarterback. But in the pros?
In all fairness, he didn't really get a fair shot, man.
No, he didn't. Broncos were the only ones to give him that shot too, OBT Dubs.
That's exactly right.
And it was awesome. I love about that pass. And trust me, it gives me goosebumps every time I watch it because the Broncos just reposted the other day, which I follow. Anyway, 80 yard. It's a walk-off. First play of overtime. Do you remember? Against the Steelers. Pretty darn good team. It wasn't like it was against the Jaguars.
It was a slant route, right?
Slant route. Anyway, regardless, rookie to rookie. They drafted both of those guys first round the year before. So loved it. Yes. It was great. Thank you for a win. But is he a great pro quarterback? In my opinion, no. Especially coming out, there was just I can tell you, I'm probably right on 7 out of 10 of these guys. Like if they're going to be good, going on the next level. I've been watching quarterbacks essentially since like
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, what
do you think?
Because he's going to and here's my Darren McFadden coming out. Like here's one. I love Darren McFadden. No one in the NCAA college football history has had back-to-back Doak Walker Award winners, and then also were the runner-up in Heisman in both those years. Darren McFadden did that. Badass running back for the Razorbacks. Go a lot of teams. I wish the Broncos would have somehow traded. He goes to the Raiders. Back when the Raiders. What do you think? Point being, I was like, sorry, D-Mac, which you ended up playing for. He had a good year for the Cowboys, but look for his overall. That hurt his career, but he had a couple of good years with the Raiders. But like, he goes with the Broncos. He goes with a lot of different teams.
So get to your point.
He goes to the Bengals, Joe Burrow.
It's over.
It just like
that's
you see
like
those
being
memes.
Sentenced to Alcatraz Island.
It is almost
like that. Baker going to the Browns?
Yeah, very much. Very much. The Browns is a little better situation, but the Bengals, I even forgot they were in the NFL.
And
so would you take Burrow in Baker's situation right now?
As in, would you? What do you mean?
Would you put Burrow where Baker is right now?
And
you think he'd be?
A, depends on the head coach. I'll say that even more than anything. It depends on. I always text who's your head coach? Who's leading your team? I don't know about their head coach, but with that talent around him, just here's okay. I'll throw the hypotheses out there. Hypothesis. But anyway, regardless. Say if it was like in a good coaching, so obviously the Seattle Seahawks, you got the Patriots, you got any of those, or even run Gary Kubiak had the Broncos win the Super Bowl. That kind of run first, we'll pass a little bit mentality, have a good defense. You have a good surrounding core, as in at the Browns. We'll put that coaching core at the Browns with that talent. Yeah, I say they win easily. Shouldn't win. They should win 9-10 games, even with Baker.
I won a bet this year with one of my buddies. We were like a friendly bet. It was like who has more wins, who does better, Cowboys or Browns. So
yeah,
I took that one barely.
And he said the Cowboys. Oh yeah, exactly right.
I took that one
because the Browns. He had them. Well, it's just funny. That was his first pick, Browns, and the second week, next week later, he went to the Cowboys. He switched it. One week, he's like, okay, the Browns. I don't know so much.
First week was pretty good.
Yeah, but we'll see. A lot of the time, like I said, a lot of those guys at USC who should have been studs, like Leinart.
So let's get to this.
I can tell you,
who's going to win the world. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
This year, which we can literally get right on too, because the playoffs, the Titans. If you really would think,
no chance.
I know, no chance. But the momentum that they're on, because that's the thing.
What? That's true. You're right.
You win at oh my God, I can't even. Who do they beat first? I have it right here.
He beat Tom Brady.
And then they beat Lamar Jackson, who everyone had in the Super Bowl in Baltimore. So now if if they beat the Chiefs, I have the Titans for sure. If they beat the Chiefs,
that's not going to happen.
But if that does not happen,
it's not going to happen.
Chiefs.
I don't think it's still the Chiefs' year.
Don't say Green Bay.
I don't think it's Green Bay's year. I think what?
The 49ers?
49ers.
No chance.
I really think it's the 49ers' year for some reason.
No.
I'm just going out on a limb because I don't think it's the Packers. The 49ers have kind of.
You don't think Mahomes is going to.
I think the Chiefs are going to win it.
They have the best chance, but I just don't. Can I show you the front of that cup again? It would be like you rooting for like the Giants and the Giant.
The Packers.
Okay, I guess that's your nemesis for whatever reason.
No chance.
The Giant, but yeah, I'm just saying that's who I just cannot root for the Chiefs. Oh my God.
Not even Patrick Mahomes.
I don't care for Pat. Here's one that kind of did surprise me because you go look at Texas Tech, any of those quarterbacks, but he has that little bit of, and that comes back to what we've even talked about. You play a secondary sport a lot of the time, like Baker, or you like Kyler.
Yeah, you notice how many of those guys are baseball guys?
Russell Wilson,
right?
Russell Wilson, who kind of started the whole thing.
Pretty
who is all about
fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah. So, we'll see. I think it's if the Titans win, I just think it's their year. It's just like how don't they if they just somehow beat the Chiefs after the Chiefs?
I'm going with the Chiefs.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
I think my head Chiefs, heart 49ers. Or heart. No, here we go. Heart Titans because I want them to beat the Chiefs. So we'll go heart Titans. My head, I'm with y'all. There's no way. Well, there is a way. I mean, I've seen it happen before. A team went, 3 straight on the road. The Steelers did it with Ben Big. They were the only 6.
Titans defense is okay, but I think you give those dudes the
offense is
a half.
If they get clicking.
It's what happened the last time.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I don't know what Sunday's going to be like. I guess I could look it up. If it's like 27 and kind of snowing, then it's a different game.
Titans are done.
No. The Chiefs are done. What? They're not going to be able to throw. You can't throw the ball nearly as well. I think it's going to put the Chiefs in the game because it happened earlier this year. The Broncos and the Chiefs played. I'm like, Chiefs are about to blow up my Broncos. But that was when the Broncos slowed. I think that's even when what's his face. It was before Drew Lock took over. Or before anyway. I'm like, it's going to be a blowout. It ended up being like 24-3. Wasn't blowout. So you get my point. The Broncos aren't even as good as the Titans. That's my point. I'm saying if it's snowing, if the weather conditions are playing a factor, that's going to make it sloppier. It's going to make it a closer game. If the conditions are 50 degrees and that's where I think it's the Chiefs run away with it.
The Chiefs got to win because I want Andy Reid to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that would help him for sure.
Which is weird, me agreeing with that because him being a Philly guy. But
yeah.
And guess where he coached before that, where he was an assistant? The Packers.
Yeah.
Hey, have you all seen the Andy Reid video though? When he was a kid in the punt passing.
Oh yeah. The punt passing.
Is that the most he's like Jolly Green Giant.
He's 8 feet tall.
He is a big guy though.
He is a big guy.
Yeah, but
I mean that was it was like off the charts.
Yeah.
It was like what's that grown man out there doing?
Like sometimes when you see those Little League World Series and the kid's like 27 feet tall and the rest of them are like, okay, there is no way that kid's 12. No way. He's 6'4". He's taller than me.
Oh, my God.
Real quick, we'll get into more basketball for sure when we get back. NBA pretty much kind of looks closest to what it did, but I will speak real quick of the NCAA-ish because you pick Gonzaga to take it all. They're still at number 1, so they're still looking good.
Gonzaga's looking good.
My dark horse is at number 2, Baylor, which is, remember, Baylor was my dark horse. Because you're not going to have all number 1 seeds. And now watching, like, Baylor's I'm like, you're not supposed to be a number 1 seed, Baylor. You're supposed to be like my 5-6 seed.
Yeah.
Anyway. Also to mention your other teams, Doc, number 3 Duke, number 7 Kansas. So look at your Final Four looking good so far. That's our Final Four predictions. Nice. UNC though, that was your other one. It's crazy. Have you seen how bad of a year they're having?
I know.
Even what's his face coach was like, by far the worst team I've coached since I've been. I mean, it's crazy. Worse than a long time for them. My others were Louisville. They're at 10. Michigan State at 13. Florida's kind of on the cusp. They're struggling though too. Real quick, got to talk about them. 14-2 are my Arkansas Razorbacks.
Oh, here we go.
Huge game this Saturday.
So that's how you covered me.
Here we go.
In Arkansas.
Yeah, you'll see eventually. Yeah. At home versus number 11 Kentucky, who just lost to South Carolina. But Arkansas's 14-2. We're 28th right now. We're on the cut. If we win, we'll be ranked. I got to talk about that.
No
if you want to talk about it, Notre Dame.
No chance. You got no chance.
They just lost to South Carolina. And the reason why I say I wouldn't say no chance, but they just lost to South Carolina.
0 chance.
Kentucky's going to be a little... We have one of the best defenses. You probably have no. We have one of the best defenses in the league, allowing like 56. Anyway,
there could be an announcement right now that Jesus Christ just came back to earth, and he'd be going like, "But listen, we need to first talk about the Razorbacks."
Well, no, see, I put them in like, look, that's like 1.5 to the show. Look, what are you talking about? I'm halfway to the show.
Jesus is here. Let's talk about the Razorbacks.
It's a big game. It's a big game. Hey. Your guys have lost. I've brought them up when they played big games this year.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I want to start a new segment.
What?
I want to start a new segment on Sunday. Best tweet of the week.
Oh, that's a great one.
Best
That's
tweet,
a good one.
best tweet of the week. And I'm going to kick it off. The funniest tweet I heard over the last after the Patriots lost to
The Titans.
Antonio Brown, which I'm not a big fan of.
My God,
his tweet
dude,
was,
I saw that.
did you see that?
Yeah.
Call me.
Call me.
Oh my God.
That's the best tweet of the last
There you
week,
go.
man, right there. Call me.
Dude.
So,
They all laughed, but they all said, hell no.
yeah, so that's our new segment. Best
Love
tweet
it.
of the week.
Best tweet of the week. Okay, let's get into what I know you want to talk about. Let's get
Yes.
some MLB talk.
Yeah, come on.
First off,
Can we shine the spotlight here?
Well, okay. How do y'all feel? More so, I know you want to get into it, but how do you feel? Do you think the punishments are fair for the Astros, coaches, all the way around? And do you think that players should have been penalized?
No players.
Just you're fine with the coaches?
I mean, me being a player, it wouldn't look good as a player. Like it just.
I don't think it look good for the team
think
too. I think if
it just doesn't look good for baseball either way. But I mean, they're gonna do what they have to do and just do it. Let's get it done. Let's get going.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear around the league like stuff like that goes on. So when you go to those places, you pay attention to that kind of stuff. So I mean, it's not like we're shying away from it when we go to Houston. Like, hey, okay, we'll switch up our signs. We'll do this, do that. But for the most part, I think the league did what they had to do. But if players are involved and they do find out some evidence about the players, they're going to come down hard, and I think they should. I mean, I have buddies that have tried to go pitch in Houston, and they get hit around. And it's like, oh, I got sent down after that game. It sucks because those are guys trying to make a living.
Yeah.
In those kind of situations, like that's tough. Like
when we talk about player involvement, though, we're talking about player involvement from almost an administrative side, being an instigator and actually facilitating it or promoting. Because that's kind of what got Beltran, right?
That's what I'm hearing.
Beltran got is collateral damage because he was actually one that was like
he was a player.
He was administrating the tactics.
Yeah.
Right. Another player who's actually just playing the game and is being told the fastball is coming. He's just being told the fastball is coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's right.
I mean, you
can't swing, Doc. Right. Back to remember our show. That's committing a crime. You swing. Back to when I said the whole drive-in show with the. Oh yeah. Remember when I was being goofy that day or whatever. But you're right. You're right. Exactly. That's why I don't think players should be.
Correct.
I think it's just. I mean, I think it sucks, man. Honestly, like to get to this point, and then like to go back and like look at a dude like Clayton Kershaw, his numbers, and being like, people were dogging this dude. Like it was like, man, this dude's such a great pitcher. Like, and in my eyes, he's a great pitcher. Like I've caught for Kershaw before, couple bullpens. I'm like, man, this dude's the best. And then to go see like that happen and this come out and be like,
well, listen,
no way.
If you just stop to think for a second, you could have predicted that this was coming, right? With technology, I mean, it was going to happen.
Oh yeah, well, it's like the Patriots. Patriots just got caught this year with the whole. Remember the guy with the camera, and they were like I forgot if it was whatever team it was, and they were rewinding. Maybe whoever it was, wasn't the Titans? Someone during the season, and they were rewinding like, what are you filming right here? They were filming the sideline trying to get calls, and the guy's like, I could just delete that. I can delete that, and they're like, no, we're going to try to get you in trouble for this. Essentially, I could just delete that, dude. Let me have my film back.
I just saw a Piazza interview, and Piazza said, well, it never would have happened when I played because we didn't have technology.
Exactly, right? Yeah, well, yeah.
You see, but my point being is that the evils of technology is good. There's bad sides of technology.
Yeah. It's like back to your phone even situations where people are glued to their phone. There's so many bad sides to it.
It's going to seep in, and Major League Baseball had to respond to it.
Yeah. They had to.
You had to respond to it.
I think they really had to.
They could have predicted that it was going to come. It came, and now they responded.
Yeah. And now, what do you think is going to happen in Boston? Same type situation? They're going to find him the same? Or?
Well, I don't know. Cora's already out.
Yeah,
so,
he's out.
But are they going to find him the 5? Like, well, the same thing and suspend their first two picks for the next 2 years?
A more interesting question, really, that's come up over the last week because of all this is the Pete Rose thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
right? Put the two side by side. Are you kidding me?
We've already said that. I could have said that in the 90s when I was a little kid. I'm like, Pete Rose is what? Are you kidding me? Like, I'm a kid even going like.
Yeah, but Pete Rose, like, he even came out this week and said,
I should be in.
Yeah, I bet on my team to win.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm like. When I
was
in the 90s, I'm like, how was he what?
To defend that, there is a big sign in every single locker room that you go in. everywhere. No matter if you're in the AZL or the big leagues, there's a big sign that says there's no betting on baseball, and it's been like that for a while.
And that's been kind of like the cardinal rule.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Whatever,
True.
Yeah.
And I mean, but like this stuff and like it's a mess right now. It'll get cleaned up. Everything will go back to normal.
The point being is, if Rose gets a lifetime suspension for that, then an AJ Hinch and an Alex Cora,
they get a 1 year.
They only get a 1 year. You know what? Leave it at 1 year, but reinstate Rose, put him in the Hall of Fame like he deserves.
Like, are you kidding me?
But that's the thing, though. Everybody still signs. Like, as a catcher, me personally, like, if I'm giving simple signs, like, you should be stealing my signs. Like, that's why people come up with different sign sequences, like different kind of stuff. Like, hey, we're going to do this with the runner on second. We're going to do this when there's nobody on. Like, people do all kinds of stuff. And that's why people do that, so that you don't steal their signs.
Right.
But, like, there's a line. There is a line of where, you're stealing signs and you're cheating.
Right.
And I think they went over that line.
Yes. Well, and John Smoltz talked about this on MLB Network. He said every time he pitched, he could hear the dugout. He could hear the dugout like
whistling, last name,
something, right?
On deck circle.
And he would go, okay, they've picked up.
But this is stuff that people get taught like in high school. Like,
Gardner looks for this stuff.
I mean, it's just gaining an edge. And then like if it's not secret, change your signs. Make them harder. Because if I'm picking them up and I'm not even on your team, they're not hard enough. So change them.
But streaming the signs into the dugout and having somebody on their iPad.
Yeah, that stuff is
fastball.
Oh yeah, on their watch or whatever, and then pounding the.
It's crazy, man. I mean, it sucks for baseball right now, but I mean, it's gonna get cleaned up. This had to happen, and I think everybody got what they deserved, and I think it's gonna get taken care of. And
listen, kudos to MLB to the Major League Baseball for actually. Acting swiftly.
Yeah.
Fast.
Yeah, definitely.
Bam.
Yep.
Right? It didn't carry on for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years.
3 months.
Or months. Right? Yeah. So, yeah, it's too bad, but the game's going to be better.
Yeah. Stuff like that. Like we talked about the PED stuff back in the 90s, early 2000s, just stuff that kind of has to get cycled out. And like we were even saying, it's a product of the game that's slowly been getting better. This kind of hurts it. I wouldn't say too much, but it's just you're just going, hey, those guys are cheaters, and that's all it's really pointing out, essentially. But I
think the fact that they're not going to suspend players because they're not going to individualize like a player.
Yeah.
That for the rest of their lives, for the rest of their careers, they have to walk out in that world with that ring on.
Oh yeah.
And people going like,
oh yeah, but
did you like how many of those people will actually wear it like happily? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like it's got a stain.
Yeah, so it's like it because I know if I was in that situation, I'd be like, man, like no way, like I can't even. I wouldn't even wear the ring.
Yeah,
like I'd just be like, man, I'm gonna get questions about it.
Yeah,
like,
and the other side of the argument too is, man, and you can attest to this. Even when you know a fastball's coming, you still got to hit it.
But that's the thing though. Like I was telling one of my buddies the other day, I was like, some average Joe. I'm like, dude. Like, I want you to think about this. Like, I put you in the box. I'll put you grab a bat, you go hit against a major league pitcher.
Oh, yeah, well, it's impossible.
Would you want to know what's coming?
Well, even if I did know what's coming, it wouldn't matter.
But would you want to know what's coming? Yes or no?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. But regardless.
If you're going to get paid to get a hit, do you want to know what's coming?
Well, yeah, right.
Okay, so now, think about this. Think of a major league hitter in that box, knowing what's coming. You think he misses?
I mean, not often.
Not often.
Not often, really.
No. Those guys don't
often,
miss.
But yeah,
you're
going to miss. As in Michael Jordan miss them wide open late. You know what I mean? You're going to miss, but yes, 9 times out of 10, you're going to want to know you're going to be right there. Because there's only so much. It'd be one thing if the pitching zone was even that big. The pitching zone's only so, you know what I mean? So you know so if it's a strike, you're like, oh, I know this. Here comes a curve. It's going to be right where, you know what I'm saying? Where me, it don't matter. I could be like, oh, yeah, it looks like it's curved. You know what I mean? Yeah. Average Joe.
Dude, the ump's calling it ball or strike before you've even.
Exactly. Literally, I'll be like, what? Yeah. No, hold on. It's still. You threw it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's the whole thing is like
here's the thing. It can correlate to anything. Football. Would you, if you're a defender, as a D-back, would you want to know if that wide receiver is about to run a slant or a slant and go?
Exactly.
Are you kidding me? You know how many routes you're going to jump if you knew he was about to run a slant? That's why they're trying to always, that's why what was Peyton Manning's? Oh my gosh. Omaha, his big one for Denver. No one could ever figure out what it was because it was always something different. He was always changing it.
They were showing some clips on MLB Network of Astros hitters hitting against a pitcher for the Tampa.
Glasnow.
Right.
But that was.
Did you see that segment?
Yeah, but I saw that. That was this year. That was this past year, right?
And they were showing that they weren't moving at all.
But that was different. So as I actually have text message from me and another player, me and my buddy. We were actually watching that game where like he's tipping his pitches. Like like you can tell like you're like something's going on. They caught on to something. Like
so it was.
So it was the pitcher. It was the pitcher. Like it was Glasnow's.
Actually
like
tipping the pitches.
Yeah. So like, and he was aware of that. So he changed it up whenever he came out that next inning.
Okay.
But like. So that's how you watch it from a different angle, and you're like, and you see guys in Glasnow's very good pitcher. Like fastball's at 100, curveball's like down, and then like for you to lay off a breaking ball that looks like it's gonna be a strike like that and lay it off and be like take it like you were automatically taken. That's tough to do. So then that's when you start like, okay,
wait a minute, something's happening.
So he's either tipping, they know something, I'm doing something, like something's going on.
Yeah, because they were just standing there.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no movement.
Yeah,
man. It was
but then they ended up. I remember that they ended up showing clips of Glasnow like being out in front, being down low. And
glove placement. Right.
I mean, that's like what that's how baseball is. Like originally how it is. Like you're tipping your pitches. Like maybe your like tongue comes out when you're throwing a fastball.
Right.
Maybe you're like this when you're throwing a breaking ball. Like I mean, it's just a lot of stuff. You know, that's the original sign stealing.
That's part of the game.
Yeah, that's part of the game.
That's part of the game.
It's part of the game.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Let's get to getting to know Jose.
Yeah.
So of course we know we're Corpus Christi, right? Mm-hmm. Born and raised.
Yeah.
Now we know you're a Dallas-based program, right? Everything's Dallas-based teams. You love the because I was like Houston, the Oilers. Now then we got the Texans.
Yeah,
okay, what about the Stros or the Rangers? Obviously, you play for the Rangers now.
I was a Yankees fan. I was a Yankees fan.
Yeah. Gotcha. What led you?
I love Jeff Bagwell and Craig Biggio though. Like
they were great back in the day.
I like those guys.
They were badass back
then.
But why Yankees though?
Derek Jeter.
Ah, your man. That's your man, huh?
The next unanimous player to go in the Hall of Fame.
I love it.
This year.
Love it.
I think tomorrow or today. Or was that today?
I think it is today, right?
Is
tonight or tomorrow?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, anyways, he's going to be the next unanimous. That guy's the best.
And some joke, because at the time, I hadn't looked it up since, but at the time he set the record, King Griffey, when he went in, he was the...
Speaking of that, I literally thought of this. I have a question for y'all.
What?
Would you trade a King Griffey Jr. Hall of Fame signed baseball for a Derek Jeter signed baseball?
No.
Yes.
I'm King Griffey Jr. all
You
the way.
would?
Yes.
Would you?
No. I love Griffey.
I'm in that
man.
situation. I have
Griffey?
I have a Griffey. I have a lot of stuff.
I have three. I love Griffey.
I would.
You know what
Derek
else I got?
Jeter.
I know, but I have an in over there with one of my buddies, so I'm like, hey, if I send you a jersey, you think Jeter will sign it?
I mean,
he's like, yeah. So I'm like, okay,
Then
which one do I sign? Like, which one do I send? Like, I also have I got something really cool this year. Y'all might be jealous of this.
I will be jealous.
I got two things, actually.
Well, just the Griffey thing. That's what I want.
I got a Trout jersey.
Oh.
See, he wants
signed.
Signed.
Oh my God.
To Jose, best wishes.
There you go. That's what he wants. I'm Griffey. I think Griffey's the best center. Well, him or
I also got a
Mays.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. one, too. Jersey.
Oh, Vlad.
Gosh.
And...
What? You play for the pros? Are you kidding me? That don't surprise me at all. Okay, who else
and I got
got?
a Clayton Kershaw one.
Oh my God.
He loves Kershaw too.
Are you how you mounting? Are you mounting those in your?
Well, I mounted one of them, two of them. I have the jerseys. I'm gonna get somebody to like put those in.
Yeah, you got to get those done up right, man.
I got a lot of baseballs. I'm a fan too. I'm a fan of the game. Anytime I see like a legend, I'm like, hey, like I got Trevor Hoffman the year that he went in the Hall of Fame. He signed my baseball. I have.
I got Johnny Bench and Nolan Ryan, man.
Boom.
I got a Johnny Bench one.
There's a
from
Johnny Bench
somebody.
one right up there, man.
Yeah, he doesn't sign stuff. What I've heard, he doesn't really sign stuff anymore.
Right.
So like when you get his autograph, it's like,
wow.
So
that's crazy. Well, back to my point. Some Joe is going to vote no on him going in. Point being, Griffey set the record back in 2000, whenever he went in, 2016, I think it was. Mm-hmm. 3 people voted Rick. 3. It was like 99.7%. I'm like, what 3 jokers? Yeah. So there will be, my point being, I can't wait to see how many vote no. Why?
Who? For Derek Jeter?
Griffey broke the record. Griffey broke the record. As in, you can name all those guys before you, boss. Griffey set the record at 99.7. Only 3 people voted no. I don't know if anyone's broken since is my point, but that's my point.
Well, nobody will vote no against Derek Jeter.
No.
How do you...
no one voted no against Mariano.
Rivera, he was the first with no?
Yeah, he was the first one.
He was the first
unanimous.
one. Okay,
yes.
there, you get my point.
So he's first, and then Derek Jeter's coming right in. Right
Why
after.
though? Because those old dudes are clowns. The old dudes that voted before, there were better people in the Hall of Fame than Derek Jeter. Hello, are we kidding ourselves?
Like
Derek Jeter's one of the best
ever.
Yes.
Yeah. Who else?
You put. Oh my God. So if he played for the,
I feel like
if he played for the Milwaukee Brewers,
Ron Santos, who?
Are we Mickey Can I go through the rest of the Yankees that are definitely above him? Okay, you do a top list of all time.
No.
We did our Mount Rushmore, or have we not yet? You're not putting Derek Jeter on the Mount Rushmore of baseball players. Shortstops, baseball players, Doc. I said baseball players.
Baseball
there
players.
are better baseball players in the Hall of Fame than Derek Jeter.
I'm putting Derek Jeter up there.
Over Mickey Mantle. Over Willie Mays. Can I keep going?
He's in that league.
He's in that league, man.
Okay. If I did a list again, I promise you, and I can pull this
3,000 hits.
Okay. There have been a lot of people that hit over 3,000.
Homers, World Series, MVPs. Like
my point being, he could play the Yankees. If he went to the Brewers, he wouldn't have won any World Series.
How do you know? Tim Duncan went to the Spurs.
Yeah, he's got Greg Popovich as a head coach, boss.
What do you mean?
But you mean it? You need a head coach.
Joe Torre?
Michael Jordan.
Wait, so okay,
he went to the Brewers. He went to the Brewers.
Michael Jordan didn't have a good coach.
What are you talking about?
Phil Jackson, please.
This is great.
You could have coached Michael Jordan to those.
Okay. Yeah, he only beat.
That makes sense.
He only beat Magic Johnson, Clyde Drexler, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon, Sean Kemp, Peyton Manning, Gary Payton, John Stockton, Karl Malone.
My point is,
name any player in this league right now that's beaten that many All-Stars. There's not one in the championship games.
Tim Duncan.
Okay, Tim. Okay. Well, no, he didn't beat all those players though.
He beat who he had to beat.
He beat a lot, but he didn't. Also, thank God he didn't say LeBron James. Anyway, he's lost them more than he's won. Regardless,
you don't like LeBron James.
He is to me the most overrated athlete this century, by far. Because the people like you how many championships has he won versus lost? How many has he lost?
How many times
he's lost one. That's cool, but Michael Jordan's been right bet as many, and he's won them all. He never went to the Game 7.
He didn't win all of them.
He won all of the championship finals. He won every finals he was in. That's my point. He's 6-0. LeBron James.
I don't know about overrated. You can't overrate LeBron.
There is a reason why I know. The reason I say that though is because that's why there's people like everyone that promotes him.
One criteria.
So you're not a Kobe fan either.
Oh, I love Kobe. I love Black Snake. All right, yeah, whatever. But he was like the second coming of Jordan. Are you kidding me? That killer mentality. He didn't need Shaq, obviously. He kind of helped him out, but I love Kobe. He was like just.
So you think? Okay, let me ask you this.
Here's the reason why he's overrated. How much has he lost? A lot. Who has he helped get better? He went and had to make teams. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant never had to do that. They never left
in Cleveland.
Wait a minute.
After he left Miami to go back to Cleveland,
and he won. Who was on that team?
That's my point. He had to leave Miami again. He first had to leave Cleveland to go to Miami to build a super team. So there's on a second
team. So like Golden State. I mean,
that's why I don't like the NBA anymore.
Basketball.
Wait a minute. We got to get back.
No, it's not. That's not.
Can we get back to Derek Jeter, one of the best baseball players to ever play the game?
Please, because there's no comparison to what basketball was and is now.
That's true.
You have to form teams. Back then, you stayed and formed a team. Celtics formed a team. Lakers formed a team. Trailblazers formed a team. Pistons they all formed teams. They didn't go travel to different teams.
I got a question. Last question.
What?
You think Michael Jordan needed Phil Jackson to beat all those people?
I don't think he needed Phil Jackson, but he needed us. Here's my point. If any, and they would, y'all are baseball people. You get basketball minds back behind you right here, and all of them would say you're out of your mind if you think Phil Jackson is not a good head coach.
He's a good head coach, but I don't think Jordan needed him.
He needed a good head coach.
Just like I didn't think Tom Brady needs Belichick.
Right.
Just like I don't think Derek Jeter needed Joe Torre.
Yeah.
And it's just like, the coach matters.
I think the coach matters more than anything.
It does, but like at a certain point, you don't think the coach goes, "Hey, buddy."
Yeah, when you've got Michael Jordan, or when you've got who else? Who did Derek Jeter have on that team? Please tell me all the people.
Posada, Pettit, Chuck Knobloch. I mean, Soriano.
Who is his closer? Tino Martinez forever.
Mariano.
He had a team. He had studs around him. Here's my point. Michael Jordan.
Scott Brosius.
Michael Jordan goes play for the Milwaukee Bucks. Do you think he goes and wins 6 championships?
Yes, I think he does.
Yes. No. See, y'all are
ridiculous. I do.
No. Okay, here's my point.
Because when he got to Chicago, who'd he have? When he got to Chicago, who did Michael Jordan have? He had nobody.
And so he formed.
He made them.
But here's the main.
He made them.
That is true.
Scottie Pippen wouldn't even be Scottie Pippen if it wasn't for Michael Jordan. Are you kidding me?
I guess I got to give Jordan more credit.
Gosh.
He's my favorite ever.
And Derrick James.
How many of these do you all have? 100.
And you know what?
100 pair of Jordans.
And you know what made Phil Jackson a great coach? He stayed out of the way. You know what made Joe Torre a great coach? He stayed out of the way.
Hey, you know what made Bill Clinton a good president? He stayed out of the way a lot usually. Until he was messing in the office with girls.
Tell me if I'm wrong. When you have when a coach has great players, doesn't he know when to shut up and when to let guys play?
I can't say that because I've never been in that situation, but I think a coach is like guardrails. So they're like, hey, like we all know where we're going. Like when you're bowling, we all know where we're going. Yeah. You get off track, he's those guard would go, hey, no, we gotta go back this way.
You know what I remember of the '90 Yankees? Joe Torre sitting in the dugout with his arms crossed, like this, with no expression.
I think his legs were crossed too.
Yeah, no matter what.
I think that's how he coached his whole entire career, though.
No, the Yankees would be down by 4 runs going into the 9th inning.
He'd still sit there. I know that's his mentality.
And he knew that they were going to win.
I think, I love a good manager, a good head coach. I love it. Like I think
you have to have it. Look at college, especially here's one. Really look at college. They go hand in hand. You can't go to the Cleveland Indians are good this year. You're going to have good players. You're just going to have a good manager or coach. It's not going to ever have. Well, that guy's just a hell of a coach. He just is 500. Or you get my point. He's 300, whatever, below 500. No, usually if he's a good head coach, he's got good players and they're winning. That usually comes hand in hand.
I always used to say about Phil Jackson, if he really wanted to show how good a coach he was, he would go coach a team that was nothing.
Yeah, here's my point.
He coached Jordan, and then he went out and he coaches Kobe. Yeah. I mean, come on, man.
Okay, it helped him out a lot. But here's my point, because I'll watch, especially it happens a lot in college. You'll see teams get like Baylor have it happened in Arkansas. Regardless, the coach will come in. The year before they've won 1 or 2 games. Now, it didn't happen with Matt Rule at Baylor, but it happened as in I saw Houston do it at Arkansas. We won 3 or 4 games. The next year, we were 9-0 heading into number 110. You get my point.
I remember that.
So, head coach. A lot of the times, the talent could be sitting there, but if you don't have, like you said, it comes with sending them in that right direction, they're lost. They're just like, well, what do we do, coach?
Yeah. Let's talk about this guy.
Okay, we're back quick. The cool story. This cool story, and it's not up at all on the hill. That's where I did start my career, but had a little fun on the hill in Fayetteville, so I worked my way back down to Little Rock at UALR, where I graduated. So on April 3rd, 2012, in Little Rock.
Single to left.
Oh, dude. This guy right here. Let me tell you about this. Doc, let me tell you this story. So I'm covering KATV Channel 7. I am by far one of their best photographers, even to this day. So
you're in the stands?
I'm in behind. That's where you film. If you're filming for TV, you are right behind home plate.
We're playing at the minor league stadium, right?
Yes. But then this is when you're playing. This is UALR.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So anyway, I'll just real quick. Let's get to it. Oral Roberts is up 4-2 going into the bottom of the 9th. So I'm still there. I'm like, well, we'll see if I can get some run. Real quick, let's see if it's quick. I was one of the best ever at I got a championship game. Like they would want you to come back, but because the newscast starts at 10, and then sports starts at like 10:23ish. So I've got to get back, edit my highlights, get them into the system.
I know what happens.
So I always would stay for the last little bit. So 4-2 going on the 9th. Let me see if my Trojans can come back. So sure enough, they put 2 on the board on the bottom of the 9th, which I get. I'm like, yes. Going into the extra innings, baby.
You know how?
Top of the 10th. This guy right here hits a bomb.
No. Time out. Before you get to that.
What?
You know how they put the 2 runs on the board? Do you really want to know? Do you remember?
Yeah, go ahead. Because you were in the action.
I made an error.
You did?
Yeah.
At third base.
Oh, you were playing third at that time.
I made an error. Ball went through my glove. They have turf, so the turf that was red was different from the green, so I thought the ball was going to hop. So I picked up my glove. Boom, ball went under my glove, and they scored. And I was pissed. I was pissed. So then when he talks about that, I was pissed. Yeah. I'm telling you, I was so mad. So I was like, we shouldn't even be here. We should already be on our bus. Like I was telling people, we should already be on the bus. That's my fault. I got y'all. So then I come up.
Okay, so let's go on, man. Let's go with all of the story.
Yeah, right. And then the top of the 10th, boom. I mean, the guy, he was on first or second, He just launched
the ball.
Over center field. I'm like, well, there goes the game. I knew then.
There was houses in the back and everything, trees. I remember that.
Yeah, trees. Yeah, exactly. Because there was a neighborhood back there. And I'm like, that one's out of here.
That is fantastic.
Yes,
man.
and then what ULR does, which is crazy, I stuck around. They hit a home run in the bottom of the 10th, and I'm like, here we go. Yep. But they ended up winning still 6-5 in a thriller.
Yeah.
I covered that game,
and here you
I
are.
have highlights. And here we are this many years later. I actually interview this guy.
Isn't
this too cool?
That is unbelievable.
So I'm like looking it up, and I'm like, hold on, I think I remember something. So I'm like looking up Oral Roberts' schedule, and I'm like, sure enough, I covered this game. April 3rd, this is 2 days before my mom's birthday. I remember this game.
I remember that. I remember that era. I remember that feeling. I remember, because what's his name from that school?
Derek Fisher.
Derek Fisher,
yeah.
Yeah.
The Fish, exactly. So that was, I was just like getting goosebumps. I'm like, I wish I could pull out, trying to text Sully, like, dude, if you still have, because he's still the sports director.
Oh my gosh, if you could have had the film.
I'm sure I'm texting him, so I'm like, dude, please.
Great place to hit.
Love you.
I liked hitting there.
It's nice.
That's awesome.
You played you played Arkansas once, you played UCA, Central Arkansas.
Arkansas was tough. I was a freshman.
Yeah.
I was getting,
lost 6-1. Hogs put it to them. But hey, you about swept UCA. They're never that, they're okay.
We crushed.
I think it was once y'all lost to them in the 2 years. Y'all played them quite a bit.
I hit a home run at UCA off that scoreboard. Bam! I remember that.
I didn't cover much of the UCA games. Mostly
I had two buddies there that went to UCA, Jonathan Davis and Doug.
I remember Jonathan Davis. I remember covering that name.
Dougie V was there too. Oh. So I remember that. I'm trying to think who else.
Crazy. It's crazy. I'm telling you.
Well, hold on. Who is it UALR? That's Little Rock.
Little Rock. UCA
Who's the other one?
UAPB is in Pine Bluff.
No, not them.
Arkansas State's up in
Arkansas State. That's who we
Jonesboro.
played. That's who we played at the minor league.
That's right. Was it either UCA or Arkansas State y'all played at?
It was Arkansas State because they had that red dirt.
Yeah,
I remember that.
That was they just opened Dickie Stevens Ballpark right there with the beautiful river and the backdrop right there.
The hot river. I played there for a couple of
years. Which we'll get to in just a second because I do want to get to this. Another cool little tidbit. So I saw you went to the Cape Cod Baseball League. I have to ask you, have you ever seen the movie Summer Catch?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
So back in the day, I'm watching that back in 2001. Girlfriend of mine loved Freddie Prinze Jr. I've loved Jessica Biel, who's in it. And then they play for the Chatham A's. It's based around a guy that plays in that league for the Chatham A's. I had no idea that Cape Cod really this is a thing.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? This is a real thing. As much as I love sports, I'm like, what?
You know those stadiums? How they were like?
They were constructed.
No. You know how those stadiums are in the movie?
Oh yeah.
That's how they are at the.
Which is crazy. I went further into this for that because it was during baseball season when they went to shoot, so they couldn't shoot there. So they went and construct, and now it's back to ruins. But they went and constructed a park, looked just like the Chatham A's park. Looked just like it, and because I went to the tidbit, now you can go back there. Now it is just overgrown, and I'm like, that's crazy. They built that park just like you'd see anything. Built that for the set, and now it's all overgrown.
It's crazy.
But they're actually the Chatham Anglers. I had no idea they they were the A's and the A. So I looked it up afterward forever. I'm like, holy. This is for real. I had no idea. So I had to ask if because you played for the
YD Red Sox.
White Red Sox,
Yeah. I was there for 26 days. I was coming off an injury my sophomore year in college, and I met the best people I've ever met in my life.
It seems like a great environment of people up there.
I live with a host dad who's about this tall.
That's what they do in Summer Catch, by the way. They live with host parents.
It's like hilarious. This dude, he's from Boston, so got the accent, has a little mustache, and then I met a little bat boy who's actually graduating this year.
Wow.
He's 18 this year, and he was 10 whenever I met him, I think.
That's awesome.
What year was that? That was
2012 or 13, yeah.
Yeah, so he was like 8 years old.
Because Aaron Judge played for Brewster in 2012.
Yeah, Brewster. Brewster had a really good team that year.
I would imagine Aaron Judge was probably popping some bombs. Maybe
there was another dude on that team.
Oh, really? That was before Judge was really. Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
But I remember Brewster having a bunch of huge dudes. And you're like, dang.
Yeah, because Judges. You're like, where are these guys from?
Like, dang, these are huge.
So I had to bring those up. I was like, that was covering you, and now coming back because there was like 2 or 3 games where I'd stick to the very end, and that was one that stuck out big in my mind. I'll never forget seeing that, and it was just gone. I'm like, well, this game's like
I was so mad. I remember that. I was
because we came back, and I'm like, this game's awesome. This
you crushed it, huh, man?
I was so mad I made that error. Yeah. I remember that.
And then seeing that you went to the Cape Cod League, and then I loved that. Well, not love it was a pretty good movie, but watched it back in the day, and still it's on every once in a while. So I was like, I gotta ask about that. So the Chatham A's and see if you've seen that. Doc?
So, well, fill us in, man. Your childhood, how you got into baseball. Give us the Reader's Digest version of your life story, dude.
I mean, I was young when I first started. I playing baseball like everybody else, just a ball and a bat. I don't know how or why my parents put a ball and bat in front of me, but they just did.
Was your dad a baseball lover?
Yeah, big time.
Okay.
He was a coach. All right. He coached my brother, coached my sisters. So I don't know. I guess I just picked it up, and I never asked anybody to like play with me. Like, hey, you want to come play with me? Like, I just throw the ball up, catch it, throw the ball up, catch it, whatever.
You ever throw the ball on the side of the house? I did that. I was wondering. Like, I wasn't a big baseball guy. I was like, it had to have been a big. If I was doing that,
that's how you'd play when you were a kid.
Yeah. So I would drive from Corpus. Well, from where I'm from, is a small town in Corpus, outside of Corpus, 45 minutes. It's called Alice, Texas, Bimbolt, Texas. So I would drive from there to Corpus, where my parents worked. I'd go to school there. I'd have practice after the games. Or practice after school, go through all that, and drive back. So like I did that all the time. Wow. I think from first grade till like fifth grade. And then my sister started living in Corpus, and I went to middle school right there in Corpus. So I would stay with her sometimes, and then high school rolled around, and I would go back and forth. I would stay at a buddy's house, or I would go to my house and then drive in the mornings to work out. But I mean, I don't know. I always loved it. Like, I never got forced to play it. I think I'm not going to say it came natural to me, but I was always like a student of the game. Like, I would come home from school when I wasn't playing baseball, and I'd turn on like the Astros games. I'd see the Astros playing the Brewers, and I would just watch. Like, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. Mm-hmm. And then highlights, I'd be like, man, that's a cool play. Like, I would try it, like that kind of stuff. But I mean, I grew up loving it, and I knew I wanted to be a professional baseball player. It was just somebody had to get it out of me, pretty much. Right. So.
And that's what I think I saw. No offers coming out of high school, or no, TCU. That's right. No, TCU. You had, what were all the other ones I saw? Oklahoma State. Why did you choose? That was what I was going to ask. Why did you choose Oral Roberts at all those other different schools?
So there was a coach at Oklahoma State. I had verbally committed to Oklahoma State. I was in actually Austin, Texas, and they were like, "Hey, we want you," and I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? I'm going to verbally commit." So I verbally committed to Oklahoma State. So a couple weeks go by.
Good program.
Great program. Yeah. So this will all tie in, which is pretty crazy now. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to Oklahoma State. I'm going to be a Cowboy, like dream school. Like, we had a guy down in Corpus Christi. His name was Luis Flores. He went to school there, got drafted by the Cubs. Didn't make it to the big leagues, though. He played for my high school coach. Didn't make it to the big leagues. So we'll get into that, too. But I end up, like, going weeks, months without talking to these dudes. And I'm like, dude, I'm supposed to sign with these dudes in, like, November. Like, right. What the heck's going on? So I get a call, and they're like, hey, you want to come up for a visit? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, all right, come up next week. We'll fly you and your family. Come to a football game, blah, blah, blah.
Nice.
So Thursday, college football games are on Saturday. Thursday rolls around. He's like, hey, we got to push you back. We got some guys coming in. And I'm like, all right, that's fine.
Am I not one of those guys?
So, like, next week, like the next week after, so I'm okay. So same thing. Thursday rolls around. Hey, we got some guys coming in. We're going to push you back just one more week. I'm like, all right. So finally, I'm like, you know what? Like, screw that. I'm going to go visit Oral Roberts. And I had just been keeping in touch with these Oral Roberts coaches. Like, they actually, I hadn't been keeping in touch. They were keeping in touch with me.
Yeah.
Like, they were just like, hey, how's everything going? You still going to Oklahoma State? Like, what do you
Persistent,
got? Yeah. His name was Ryan Neal. He's the best. I'm actually going to see him in like 2 weeks. So,
is he still there?
He's still there.
That's awesome.
So, he's killing me. I'm like, you know what? Finally, like, I'll go see the school.
Right.
Like, what's good? What was it?
Right,
so I'm driving up north from Corpus, right? And I'm coming up in Waco by that Whataburger. I don't know if you know. Like, there's a Whataburger right there.
Right.
So I'm there. We're like grabbing food or using the restroom or something. I get a call from this dude from Oklahoma State. He goes, hey, man, wondering to see what you're doing this weekend. And I'm like, well, I'm going to go visit Oral Roberts. He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, they kind of told us that you were going up there. Like, didn't you verbally commit to us? I was like, yeah, but I didn't sign anything. And he's like, well, you know, since you're going to be up here, why don't you just come up to Stillwater too? And I'm like, this dude, bro. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, no, actually, you know what? I'm gonna verbally decommit from y'all. I'm not gonna go there anymore. And my parents didn't even know that I did this. Wow. They thought we were just going to Roberts just to see the school.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, I'm verbally decommitted from y'all. I don't want to go there. And he's like, are you kidding me? Like, I wish I could remember this dude's name. I think
they kept putting you off, man.
So that's what I ended up telling him. Like, man, I don't feel like I should be treated like this kind of player, like all this stuff. And he's like, they don't even have football at Oral Roberts. What are you going to do, enjoy midget wrestling? I'm like, dude, that's a low blow, bro.
Enjoy midget wrestling?
That's what
that's exactly. I'm like,
and I was
what?
Like,
that sounds like something my dad had to do,
I was
remember?
like, what is going on? I was like, dude, that's pretty disrespectful, man. He goes, yeah, you know what? You go enjoy that. Well, we'll be enjoying football on Saturdays. And I was like, I'll see you in the spring.
Oh, my gosh.
Boom, hung up. And then, was it Greg Evans? Was that his name? I don't know. I said that on camera, but that might have been his name, honestly.
Okay.
I think that was
at Oklahoma State?
Greg Evans, yeah. And then they ended up getting in trouble for like recruiting like stuff. Huh. So then
exactly. Yeah,
I get to Oral Roberts that day or the next day, and they put an offer on the table, and I'm like, yeah, I'm committed to y'all.
Good for you, man.
And I was like, I'm coming here. And they were like, what? I'm like, yeah.
That's a good story. I'm glad I brought it up. That's awesome. Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, I saw the school. I was like, remember that's right. You had the offers. It was
and I told them, I was like, y'all stayed consistent with me, and I mean, y'all been through it all, and I just decommitted. They're like, decommitted? I was like, yeah, I decommitted just like a couple hours ago.
They were probably like, hell yeah, this is
awesome. They were like, yeah,
we'll get this signed up, this scholarship.
Let's get this done.
I was like, sweet, man.
Yeah, so that's awesome.
Yeah, beautiful story. Never look back.
No, that ended up happening. They sent it over.
And you were there for 2 years too.
I was there 3 years.
3 years. Okay, I can remember 2 or 3 years.
3 years. So
that's
probably
awesome.
Good 3 years. Good 3 years. I got to develop as a player.
You definitely made the right choice there. That's awesome. Yeah, getting away from a program. You saw what happened to him, but then if they were pushing you back like that,
I was done. I was like, I'm out of here. My whole family, they were like, they're treating you bad. I'm like, no, this is my dream school. Blah blah blah. I was like, glad I listened a little bit.
Good for you.
Yeah, so look where you are
Good
now.
For you.
And back to quick story. I don't know if you were going to even ask him. So what's the story with the high school coach? You were the first ever to go pro from him?
Yeah, no, well, first, only.
Only.
That's it.
First and
he's
only.
Huge legend down in Corpus. I mean, he's been coaching over 40 years down there, high school players. And he's
high school?
No, different. Okay. His high school for like 35 years, and then my high school for like 4 or 5.
Wow.
So we got kind of like in a little pickle because I was like, okay, there's no school that I live 45 minutes out, so I'd have to go to that school. Or there's a private school I can go to in Corpus, which is like the baseball's going to be better, the education's going to be better, like everything's going to be better. It just so happened that coach is going to be there, and I was like, yeah, I'm going. I'm going to play for that coach.
St. Paul?
John Paul II. So ended up going there for 4 years. And, I mean, after – this is when I knew I was going to be a professional baseball. I was, like, dead set on it. The year I think it was 2008, 2007, the Patriots lost to the Giants.
They were supposed to go undefeated. They didn't.
And so that Saturday, the day before that happened, because Super Bowl Sunday, so Saturday he had sat me down and he was like, hey, long story short, I was supposed to go to a dance party, quinceañera, whatever, dance. My parents were like, oh, we forgot to tell you you're going with your coach. And I'm like, what? He ends up taking my phone at 9 o'clock, blah, 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 this stuff. Like, it's just like.
That's awesome.
So I'm sitting there and he's like, hey, you have a gift, man. And I'm like I'm sitting there. I'm an 8th grader and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm like, what is going on?
Can I have a phone back?
And he's like, you have a gift, man. And I was like, what do you mean, coach? And he's like,
you can elevate.
I
teleport.
He's like, you can. He's like, I see you being a professional baseball player. He's like, if you're really truly like you want to do this, he's like, I will back you up. I'll be behind you. I'll push you. And I'm like, looking at him, I'm like, dang, like this dude's like starting to believe in me. And then his son was there because it was the off season. His son got drafted by the A's, never made it to the big leagues, got up to AAA. And his son sat me down and was like, hey, my dad thinks really highly of you. He's like, I mean, he's like, I'm pretty much the only one that he has left. He's like, and he sees you as like a son. So he's like, it'd be cool if you took this kind of serious. So ended up having that conversation with him. And he's like, I'm going to take your phone tonight, but if you're really serious about this, I need you to be up at like 5:30 tomorrow morning. And I'm like, for what?
Yeah.
He's like, well, we're going to run to the school. We're going to have a workout. We're going to hit on the field, do fielding drills. We're going to do everything. And I'm like, dang, like, okay. He's like, if you're really serious about you want to do this with your life, like, you're gonna do this.
Yeah, earlier you can see that with any great player and most pros, they're starting so early.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go to obviously like Tiger Woods recently on the Dick Clark, whatever show it was with the with his dad. I mean, you start early as you can and you stay committed.
Yeah.
And you have you're not smart, but you have a focused brain on it. Yeah. It's crazy what you can put your mind to. My mom would always say, Josh, you can do anything. That's a lot of kids. I mean, if you just stick to something and stick, it's hard when you're young too because there's girls, there's video games, there's all
everything.
Of stuff.
There's all kinds of distractions. Yeah. So that night, I had a really bad cough. Don't know why. Don't know how. I just got a bad cough. His wife comes in with a coffee cup, kind of like what you got there. Yeah. I don't know what's in it. Come to find out, I think there was like honey, like
whiskey
something like that. So
right.
So I'm like coughing up a lung. It's like 2 a.m. I'm coughing up a lung. She hands me this. I drink it, pass out. Right. So he took my phone. So I don't have an alarm clock. Well, I don't have an alarm to wake me up, but there was like one of the old time alarms.
Right.
An alarm clock.
He put in my room.
Yeah.
It was 5 o'clock, and I was like this on the bed, shoes on, and everything. And I get a knock. He goes, "You up?" I said, "Yes, sir." He goes, "Let's go." got up, walked out, and ever since then, I'm like, I've never turned around.
That's awesome.
But then I did get outside, and he was like, "Don't let me beat you," and he took off running.
There you go.
Like 4 miles to the school. So I freaking took off after him.
Oh my gosh!
Need that mentor. I mean,
absolutely.
You need a mentor.
He ran every morning. This guy runs every morning, prays the rosary. Like that was his thing.
No kidding.
So yeah,
I gotta meet this guy, man.
He's the best to
ever
do it.
He's gonna live like 173.
I hope so, man. That dude was like a blessing, like from another world, man.
Especially early on, you need stuff like that.
He built that like kind of like mentality in me where it's like, hey, like a focus and like your God, family, education, like your family, like it's like that's what he pretty much. My parents did a good job of it, but he was the one that like
super instilled it,
nailed
on you.
it. Yeah. And I was like, yep. And he was like, and everywhere we went, he was like, hey, y'all watch this kid, watch this kid, watch this kid. Like he did a good job.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Anything else before we move on? No, we can keep diving if you anything else.
No, man. It's fabulous. Here you are, man.
I know.
Playing the bigs. And, I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Right?
Real quick, because before we dive into the chamber. Stud and Dud segment, got to give a quick shout. This is where because there was 2 guys that looked up beside yourself. There's the other guy. Senior over at Oak Cliff High School. Did y'all see this?
Yes.
He has no offers. That's who I looked up. The whole Shaq thing. Did you see what happened? That was a real.
What?
So
I saw Shaq was there.
Yeah. So Kylon Owens. Hopefully he'll get some offers after this. I would imagine. He is a 3-star. So and he's a big guy, 6'10", got some good stats. He's a senior over at South Oak Cliff. Was going on to went over to JCPenney's in Hearst to try on his wardrobe for prom coming to senior prom. And all of a sudden behind him, he kind of turns around. Here comes Shaq because he's a spokesman for like everyone these days for JCPenney's tall and big and tall section. So he came out. They paid for the whole wardrobe and everything. Kind of shook his hand and big publicity stunt really. So hopefully we'll get an offer or two. But a little shout out to Shaq for sure.
That's
all
awesome.
He does. I mean, hell, he's having a bigger post NBA career than he had probably NBA career. He's probably making more now.
Yeah.
But
it's a funny dude.
Yeah, he really is funny.
He got paid in college, didn't he?
Yeah, right. Exactly. He's been playing Blue Chips. Remember the movie he was in? Blue Chips, the movie with Nick Nolte. There's a movie in the 90s. Him and Penny Hardaway are in it because both of them were supposedly paid at Memphis. It's a good movie. Let's get to the chamber.
Yeah, chamber.
Some good questions. Now, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All-time favorite team, any sport?
Yankees.
Even over your Cowboys?
Yankees.
Player-athlete of all time?
Derek Jeter.
I mean, see, that's what's so funny when we do these. I found out a lot about a person because I ask these questions, and then sometimes it just comes out before I can even get to the chamber. If you could have went pro in any other sport, what would you go pro in?
Football or hockey?
Ooh, nice. If you could play, because I see on Twitter now, I'm following you on the Stud and Dud account. I see you repost a lot of hockey stuff.
I love hockey.
I can see him on the skates.
Watch out for this guy. He's going to run you right over.
Yeah, I'll run you over.
Right?
Yeah.
Get out of his way.
Yes, please. No way am I getting in your way. I'm like, I'll make Peyton Manning. You're not sacking me. I'm falling straight down. All right. If you could play if you could play one game in any major league stadium of all time, and I probably know the answer, where would it be?
I already did it.
Yeah.
Yankee Stadium.
That's awesome.
But maybe the old one?
Yeah, exactly.
The
Original one? There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. A little thinking you have to do here. A little thinking cap. If you're the manager of the team, it's the bottom of the ninth. I'll probably know this answer now. Bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, down a run.
Captain Clutch, man.
Who do you want most at the plate?
Do you want someone from who I play with?
Anyone ever, yeah.
Who I play with now, or just anyone ever?
If you're the manager.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
you got to go with Rod Carew.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, let's do both. If you're managing now, who do you want at the plate?
If I'm managing?
Now, players now.
My players now.
If you had one guy, you could pick him. Like all of a sudden, he comes off the bench, and it could be Trout for whatever weird reason. He's coming off the bench.
Oh, so it could be any player.
Yeah, if you throw him in, designate. You get my point. Where you're subbing out a guy, he's like, okay, you're done. I want Trout in now.
I mean, yeah, Trout. I mean, Trout would be good.
Probably be your go-to all time. Then, if you get my point, you could throw one guy in there.
Derek Jeter. All
right, I love it. That's your man. That's like Michael Jordan. That's here's what I do love about Jeter. Jordan brand, baby. You kidding me? Hello.
Right.
You kidding me? I do like Jeter. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just saying if he played for the Brewers, does he win all those rings? I just thought. I'm not saying he doesn't. It's like Jordan. I'm saying the same thing.
He would have been as good.
He would probably.
Derek Jeter's
most
going to be
likely,
Derek Jeter.
Because back to what you're saying, and you kind of have that. You brought up Kobe, which I definitely love Kobe. That mindset, which that's why I don't like LeBron. He doesn't have that Kobe, that Jordan, that Jeter mindset.
Look.
He doesn't.
Look.
What? You think he has that killer instinct like Kobe? There's no way. And that's why people even say if you play Kobe, most would say Kobe LeBron one-on-one. That killer instinct, Kobe's going to probably win because he's not going to let you lose, or he's not going to let you win.
He's gritty, man.
All right. There's a very good chance that Mike Trout may never win a World Series.
True, but
so what are you gonna say about him at the end of his career?
Yeah. It's like Griffey. He had like 1 or 2 years with
Derek
the Mariners.
Jeter, no matter where you put Derek Jeter, Derek Jeter.
You're good. Okay, I'm just giving y'all a thought.
We gotta educate
good one.
Right?
That's not educating. It's just for you to think.
Baseball.
I like the people think. Any sport. In your own opinion, the best baseball player ever. Now, for real, ever. Now, I know you want to bring up Jeter, but who do you think, if you had to go best ever?
Man.
Who was Steve Kent's? I brought these back from Steve Kent's. I forgot what Steve Kent's answer was. Damn, I forgot.
He probably said Mike Trout.
Yeah, he loves Mike Trout.
I like Mike Trout too. I mean, solid dude, man. Honestly, I would say if someone's gonna go down as like the greatest to ever play the game.
Here's a cool stat I love to bring up, just because I'm big with numbers. Guess how many Gold Gloves he's won?
1, 0. He hasn't won any.
Guess how many Ken Griffey has won? I just bring up Griffey, so I love him.
7,
10. So he's a great hitter. Fielding to me because they're first base. It's not like he's out in the field really doing a lot over there, so it's kind of hard to go. Whoa, you go
center field.
I'm but center field. That's my point. If he was at first base, I could understand. But he's at center field. You think he would have won 1 or 2 by now?
Yeah, but look who's going up against.
I know, but look who Griffey went up against. We had some competition.
What do you mean?
Back in the day?
Who?
Griffey's. Griffey had. There was others. I guess other center. I'd have to go back and look now because I don't remember baseball. But I know there were other center fielders that were better. Or just
dude, there's guys that go and get it now.
Yeah.
Like. Go and get it.
Well, Griffey broke his arm and he didn't let go. You remember that, right?
When he Trout almost jumped over the fence at
That's fine, but did he break an arm, catch a ball, and
Orioles.
hold on to the ball like Griffey did? That's forever ingrained.
Trout literally jumped and it hit it like his hip was
Did he break anything? Did he break anything?
Here's a good analogy for it because you're a golfer.
What?
Who did Arnold Palmer play against as good as Tiger Woods' competition?
Jack Nicklaus, the best ever.
And who else?
Lee Trevino, Gary Player.
Lee Trevino.
Gary Player. I mean, those guys. You're right because that's why they won, and that's why those guys did win 6, 7, 8 back in the day. Because there were only 5.
But what Jose's getting at,
there's more competition now.
Center fielders are different today.
Ken Griffey
just
would
like
be
Tiger. The golfers today are different.
Ken Griffey, you kidding me?
Ken Griffey was.
He would still be a stud today, and
I would be.
I would hate the whole because my point being, imagine if Ken Griffey wasn't born in 19 whatever, he was actually born in where y'all were born. So imagine what his body would look like now. That's my point. Imagine him with today's technology. Imagine what he would be a freak.
How do you know? Maybe it'll work against him.
How do you know Derek Jeter goes to the Brewers? He's not Derek Jeter. Or you could. Those were what if questions.
You want to know something crazy about the ball that I got by Ken Griffey? I almost got the shoe signed. The Griffies. I was like this close.
How did you got Griffey? Okay, so let me ask you back to this. So when you get these autographs,
you know people, man.
Are you getting them?
You know people.
But do you ever get them? Like, have you ever, who, and here's a real quick question who is your number one, you met him, like your top person you ever met? Like Mike Trout? Was it Jeter if you've met Jeter? Who have you met? It's just, we're both going to be like, wow, you shook hands with. It's even when you were shaking whatever after the game or when you met him off the field.
I mean.
You're number one.
Like off the field?
Anyway, all time. Because mine would be like, there's a couple where I'm like, wow, I can't believe I met President Carter. I shook President Carter's hand, which is crazy.
I'm trying to think.
It was at Walt Disney World. So that's where I'm like, wow, a president's hand.
The other day I went
Clinton,
to...
I'm like.
The other day I was at the Spurs game, New Year's Eve. Steve Kerr. I met Steve Kerr. Casually at...
Look at this guy. He's like, I know Steve Kerr.
Yeah, but where we were on the west side of San Antonio at a McDonald's stopping to get like...
He was at McDonald's?
People, yeah, him and D'Angelo Russell.
Wow. That is hilarious.
Boom. And I was the first one to see Steve Kerr. So he was walking, and I was like, yo, let me out. And we were on a party bus because we were obviously New Year's Eve.
We were on a party bus.
Boom. I took off, and I was like, hey, I just want to shake your hand.
I love it.
You're like Gardner. Gardner does that like from across the room. Like he'll go, hey, 100 pence.
Yeah,
and he'll run over and say
these baseball guys.
Right.
It's when you're in that mentality, too. It's like you're around them a lot. Yeah. You're kind of used to being. It's like you're just around a normal person, essentially. Some of them, you get starstruck.
I think in spring training, when I first got called up, when I first went to big league spring training, that's when like the starstruck stuff kind of just started. You realize in your head, you're like, I'm one of these guys now.
I was almost like,
you're kind of
you're
like
one of them.
One of these guys now.
It's like your son that loved the second baseman remember during spring training last year, he ran and he was yelling his name, and then finally
Scooter Jeanette.
Yeah, Scooter Jeanette.
Yeah, I mean,
nice.
Did you hear about that story?
No.
He for like a half hour. I'm not kidding you, man. Half hour at the Reds game. He was down on the third baseline. They were warming up, and he kept yelling, "Scooter, Scooter!" I mean, for a half hour. And you could tell the players were out there going like, man, dude, that kid.
Like, go.
Yeah.
Right? So he just, for a half hour. So finally, here comes the Reds. They're coming off. The game's getting ready to start. Franzen's down there just thinking, oh, my gosh. So Scooter Jeanette's running toward the dugout, and he just makes like a U-turn, and he runs right back over and he goes, who's been yelling my name for a half hour? And everybody in the stands points to that. And Franzen goes like this. He raises his hand. And Scooter goes, man, you like me that much? And he goes, you're my favorite player. Scooter goes,
that's awesome.
And Scooter goes like this. He goes, I got time for you, little buddy.
Yeah, that's
right.
awesome.
That's my point. I mean,
And then he went Babe Ruth on him. He goes, I'm going to hit a home run for you today. So his first at bat, he goes deep center, and it bounces off the top of the wall.
Oh, no.
He bounces off the top of the wall, and he's on second base, and we're back behind home plate, and he looks back at us, and he points.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
It was awesome, man.
Great story. I had to bring that one up. So you're my point. You never. You're one of them now. I mean, you are a stud.
That's who they want to see when we go to spring training. They all want to see him.
I'm sure. Yeah. All-time favorite artist, band, group, like music-wise.
I love Randy Rogers.
Oh wow!
And I actually met him this offseason.
There you go.
We were in vacation in Corpus, and he had a concert that night, and we rolled up to some bar at about 1:00. Like,
his luck was running into people.
Yeah, no, we rolled up, and we were gonna get something to eat, get a drink, whatever, hang out. And my girlfriend loves him.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, I'm getting ready to order a drink, and I look up, and I'm like, that guy in the hat looks familiar. So I start looking again. I'm like, oh yeah, it's definitely him. So I go, hey, you might want to go say hi to that guy in the white hat. She goes, what guy in the white hat?
And then she was like,
oh, and I was like, calm down. I was like, calm down. Calm down.
Don't freak out and rush over there.
She's like, are you going to go talk to him or am I going to talk? I was like, I'll go talk to him. She's like, no, I'll go talk. I'm like, no, I'll go talk to him. So I just tapped him. I was like, hey. It's like, has anybody recognized you yet? And he's like, yeah. He's like, he's like, what's going on? Sat there with him. Took a couple tequila shots.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's a song about tequila shots that he, I was there for like an hour and a half with him.
That's awesome.
2 hours before their show.
Wow.
And then we left, and then I got on stage that night in Corpus, and he was like, hey, it's for my guy, Jose Trevino. I was like, what the heck?
There you go.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I guess we're friends now.
That's
so,
awesome,
yeah.
man.
Favorite song ever? Go-to song? If you wanted... And I almost asked you this too. Your walkout song. Your go-to.
I've had plenty of walkouts. I do a ton of different walkouts for different.
Changes. But what's your favorite song of all time? And it's kind of hard for a lot of people. Your favorite song. It's hard to narrow down.
That's pretty hard. Let's
get to the next one. Your favorite type of music? Country, rap, rock.
I'm a big between rap, hardcore rap, and country. So Randy Rogers and Drake, anywhere in between.
That's awesome.
Or I don't know, I'm trying to think more.
All depends on the mood you're in.
Yeah, pretty much. So
dream concert, someone you haven't ever seen, but man, you can dead or alive too.
No, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Or Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars would be.
I've
seen everybody that I've wanted to see so far.
But have you seen Bruno?
No.
Okay, so Bruno maybe.
Yeah.
Bruno, or if MJ was still alive. If you could play one instrument, we got to keep it still, music related that we're in here. If you could play one instrument, guitar? Yeah.
I've played I've dabbled with it a little bit in high school. I was in a guitar class, but I was
dream car.
Well, after you get done playing pros, man.
Oh yeah, come over. We're coming right back here.
I played the trombone, right?
In
middle school.
Did you try to play trombone?
In middle school, I played the trombone music class.
Man.
Oh
that's
gosh,
awesome.
it was
playing
crazy.
some wind instruments. All right, so if you get that $357 million contract a couple years from now,
yes.
What dream car? You first car you're gonna go get? Not for real though. Your dream car, somehow you get that massive contract.
A white
time is set.
Maserati with red velvet leather seats.
Ooh, velvet. Huh?
Yeah.
You're gonna get that.
I saw that car in Vancouver, Canada, when we were playing short season. When I was in Spokane, Washington, I saw that car. It was outside of a McDonald's, and I was like...
Stars hit your eyes. You're like, that's the one. That's it.
I want that.
Working my butt off till I get that contract. This is tunnel vision.
It actually takes a couple months in the big leagues to get it. So, I've done the math.
Yeah, oh, right.
I've done the math.
I was I know you can probably already afford it, honestly.
I've done the math.
All right, your favorite color?
Blue.
Number?
5.
Now, is that something you've tried to wear, incorporate, and when you've wore that, throughout your career?
Tried. Yeah, I've tried. I like number 21 too.
21.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to some food. You like cake or you like pie? What's your favorite?
Cake.
If you're going cake, what's your favorite cake?
Red velvet.
Ooh, that's some real velvet.
Yeah.
Candy or ice cream?
Kind of depends on which one. I like both.
Oh, okay.
But I would pick I'd pick ice cream.
Well, you probably throw a little candies every once in a while on top, like some gummies or something.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
I like gummy worms.
Yeah,
Those are nice.
I do too for whatever reason. I like it. Cheeseburgers or tacos? Tacos.
Whoa, wait.
That was a little racial profiling. Racial profiling.
Why did you make this face?
He was just about ready to go cheeseburger.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. That was a total. Okay. So now it's cheeseburgers. Now it's cheeseburgers.
You ever had a
We're in
Whataburger?
Texas.
Exactly, a Whataburger.
Jose, I got a good attorney.
Oh my God.
I mean, racial profiling. I mean, come on.
He looked at me
what
like.
What are you trying to say?
And why is that racial profile? I love tacos. I bet more than he does. I have Mexican 3 times a week. I bet. I eat jalapenos like they're candy.
Oh my God.
Racial profiling.
I want to apologize to our listening
Texas,
audience.
Whataburger. I'm sorry. Speaking of that, because I'm from Arkansas, that's one of the most overrated fast food restaurants, and I know you're gonna love it and hate me for that because you love it. Me and Avery are like Whataburger. I get like their patty melt's good. I know. You go ahead and hate me some more.
I'm just kidding. I like tacos, man.
I know it's tacos. I know it's tacos. We're in Texas. That's all I eat is Mexican food all day long. I'm like,
I bought a shirt from the mall one time that said like tacos like on it.
Or tacos for life.
But it says tacos in like Texas Rangers like letter. It's pretty cool. I don't know where it's at though.
I'm sorry about that, Jose.
We'll edit.
We might edit that out of the show.
I love it. It's so good.
I love it because you can probably see my face go like, oh man, like,
I saw.
and he goes tacos. I'm like, whoa. I set you up. I set you up.
He really did.
Hey,
now I'm the dud of the show from now on. Josh's like, that racist ass.
Yeah, you leave dogs behind, then you go racial. You're racist, and then you. I mean,
I shouldn't even like Derek Jeter.
I had no idea that I've teamed up with this kind of guy.
What have I done to myself? Your go-to Gatorade?
Probably the lemon lime. No, grape. I like the grape one. I'm thinking into the. I'm thinking in the dugout because we only have like red, yellow.
Are you sure it's not? I was gonna try to say something racist again there.
Yeah,
the cucumber flavored one.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, just trying to be goofy. I mean, my God. I knew it was tacos. Okay, I just knew. I saw the look, and we're in Texas. If we were like maybe in like Florida, hamburgers. Alabama, hamburgers. You get the Texas, Arizona, New Mexico. If you like cheeseburgers over tacos,
sometimes it's just better to go on to a new topic. So let's.
I'm just saying, my God. I was just trying to prove my point.
I set you up there.
You really did. You're like, what are you going to tell me I like? You like tacos, right? All right, here's one. Here's a good one. What do you look forward to eating most at Thanksgiving?
Sides.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a particular side?
Man,
we just went over. We had our Mount Rushmore of Thanksgiving food. So, of course, we put turkey. We're about the same. We had turkey, you had dressing.
The classics, though.
I'm not a big dressing guy.
You're not?
Stuffing, dressing, kind of.
No, I don't like it. For some reason,
potato casserole.
Just
cranberry.
Green bean. Here's his favorite. Green bean casserole.
I don't like the green bean casserole.
Broccoli cheese casserole. Green bean casserole.
That's better.
Mashed potatoes. Like
rolls. You roll it up.
Sometimes, but for the most part, I'm a big side guy. Like I'll stack up mashed potatoes.
No tacos.
No, not for that. Cheeseburgers.
I had to. I mean,
here we go.
No cheeseburgers.
Here we go.
Okay, you know what? That's gonna get removed from the list.
You
Cheeseburgers.
Got a pinata too at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, seriously,
seriously.
Y'all are pinning this against me. I'm just trying to play with the joke here. I knew the answer. I already asked him last week, Doc. My God, are you kidding me? All right, favorite destination you've never visited? Like your go-to destination, man. Your dream destination.
Probably Bora Bora.
Oh, that's definitely exotic.
But
and crazy.
I've heard to save that for the last time you ever travel in your life because everything else can be boring.
Could see that. Yeah, when you see those things.
I'm glad to hear that.
You watch those
that's one of my spots I want to go to.
Yeah, you see those things like say this is your it's bigger. You know, like this. I bet they're big anyway. You see those rooms and you just look off and there's nothing but water.
One of my buddies actually went for his first ever vacation to that.
Oh my God!
Wow.
And he was like, "Don't go."
Because everything. Yeah, right.
Yeah, he was like, everything else seems boring to me.
Yeah,
now.
right.
And I'm like, oh, all right.
Here's a fun one for you. Your favorite, because I've switched it up for him a little bit. Favorite day of the year, your birthday, Christmas, or opening day of baseball? Oh, he actually, look, I figured he'd go straight to opening day of baseball.
I mean, yeah, obviously the...
You thought about it for a minute, so I did if there is a birthday because you party still, maybe.
I like
Christmas.
I like New Year's. I like New Year's a lot.
Okay.
So but
his probably go-to loves opening day. I just had to ask.
I like opening day.
Or maybe like the World Series.
I've never been a part of an opening day though.
Oh, really? I guess, yeah, now when I think back and look at everything I've looked at.
So I'm trying to get one this year.
You will this year.
You will.
So
You will. We already know. This show proved it today.
Yeah.
You're on that track from 8th grade.
That's right.
Waking up at 5 o'clock.
yeah.
All right. I think that's everything besides the very last one. Last meal, what are you eating? And what 3 people are you inviting, dead or alive?
Last meal.
Last meal. How are you going out? Some people could just smorgasbord. Some people like basil cheeseburger with a diet soda. I'm sorry.
Tacos.
I get tacos.
Yeah.
Tacos.
Tacos and
I don't know.
taco. But no, really.
I think
last one.
I think it's more about the company around me. I would say my favorite player would be like Derek Jeter.
So you have Derek Jeter there.
I would have Mickey Mantle.
Ooh.
And then I would have my dad. And
Oh,
it
man,
just
that'd be a good meal, wouldn't it?
just go.
So leaving out moms.
Yeah, she can cook.
All right, so y'all gonna give me crap about the 4 dogs being left at home, but mom got to
There's
cook.
nothing better than mama's
Mom-
cooking.
Mom's
Okay,
cooking.
okay.
Nothing
Oh,
better than
mom's
mom's
cooking.
That's true. My dad though. My dad was the cook of the house, which is really crazy. So I would want my dad, which is funny. I would want my dad to cook.
I wish I could cook. I wish I could. Like,
Yeah.
You probably don't have a lot of time. You know what I mean? You're busy with blah, 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 so it's probably hard to really get into. Which we had Ken on the show. Let's get him over with Kent Rathbun. But yeah, it's hard to.
me and my girlfriend been wanting to like get a chef to come over to our apartment so like
Kent?
we can.
We'll have to have Kent Rathbun.
Boom, we got to
Really?
hook 2 up.
Yeah,
Kent, he's the
yeah.
chef here in town. We just had him on the show back in November.
Does he make sushi?
Oh, sure, certainly.
he
What's
makes-
his,
man, dude.
he makes everything.
Hey,
He's
we
kinda
were
dipped
talking
in all
about
kinds
it.
of-
World premiere, man. World class chef.
Wow.
Been all over. Oh, you've got
Yeah.
to. We got to have him back on. I want him to bring. I like.
Y'all need to get my trainer on here too.
We need to get him and Key Young on at the same time. We'll have just a big fitness episode because we've had one on yours and your son's.
Let me know who it is. We'd love to do
Yeah,
that.
I'd definitely let you know.
Thank you so much for joining us. Real quick, where can everyone find you on social media, Jose?
Twitter, Instagram.
What's it is?
What's
your handle?
Jose Hip Hip Jose.
Hip
Hip
Jose.
Jose.
I know.
I think
I
it's
like
Hip
it.
Jose 5.
Hip Jose 5. That's
Yeah.
what I thought it was. There was a number in there.
Yeah.
So hip. I like that. I thought it was good. Hip Jose.
I love
I
that.
missed out this year on Players Weekend because I put Trevi.
Yeah.
I should have put Hip Hip Jose.
It's all
Yep.
right. It's a good one.
But this year I'll do it.
It's a good handle. Until next week, what to watch? Of course, Arkansas versus number 11 Kentucky. UFC, real quick though, for a UFC 246 McGregor versus Cowboy Cerrone. You gonna be watching
Oh
that?
yes, I am.
I
I'm
figured
actually
you were
having,
gonna.
like,
I
a
would have
little
gotten more into that. I
watch
figured I
party.
could see you kind of in the
I'm
UFC.
having a little watch party. I'm actually headed to.
See how I say I can just see things, Doc? I was like, I could see he's into you. I just.
He's
be
into
around
tacos
people.
too.
Yeah, right.
Never gonna live. I'm telling you, the stuff I put in my mouth, I set myself up. But for sure, what else to watch? Of course, the AFC and NFC Championship games beside UFC 246. Man, I set myself up sometimes. I've done it all my life. My dad used to make fun of me.
You got a guy in that fight?
No, I don't like McGregor. I don't like McGregor. So I'd rather. I'm big. I like Cowboy a little bit, and I don't like McGregor at all. I just have never been a McGregor. I like. You like me. You like his personality as a person.
I find him entertaining.
Dude, this dude made one of like the best like quotes of all time.
Hey, I'm not
What
saying
is
he's
it?
not
I
an
think
entertained
we're
person.
not here to take part. We're here to take over. I love that.
That's
I love
cool.
that.
I just.
And obviously, like, what hurt him was when he went to boxing. Like,
Well, and just
Yeah.
the antics off the. I want to say off.
Well,
out
yeah,
of
he
the
got-
ring,
yeah, he
with his
got-
crew and the stuff that he had going on
Yeah.
there. That's the stuff I don't like. I like keep your head on straight. Don't hang. Boy, don't hang with them. Let's not hang with that crowd. Like your boy Drake.
Right.
I got whatever small circles, but I don't hang with different crew. Whatever. You got your small circle. You don't hang with. You kind of see
Right
him
now,
and say hi.
right now I got to go hang and get my little girl from
I
school.
figured it was gonna be. I figured it was. He had to go to the
yeah.
bathroom maybe. Cause
No, I got to get my little
All right.
girl.
Till next week.
Yeah.
Next week. Don't forget, we have Godfather Music coming back on. Matthew Medlock,
Okay.
guys from Legacy Music Group coming back on. The Grammys next Sunday, so we'll have him on. Also, we got to
pick
get.
up my little girl. I won't be here next week.
Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes,
I'll be
iHeartRadio,
dead.
Spotify, SoundCloud to hear all the episodes. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Stud and Dud. Thank you for listening. Once again, Jose. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Like, for real, we're going to
Awesome.
get you back on. Gotta
Stud.
get you back on.
yeah.
Stud.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
I mean, for real. Until next time, I'm Josh Smith.
Jose Trevino.
Bob Lawrence.
Peace.